TCR Motorsport and Gary Rogers, and we're actually sponsoring the car. So we're going to bring it out right now. Come and have a look.
Well, as you know, we've announced the fact that I'll be driving the TCR car, this little Peugeot for GRM. I'm very excited about it. But finally today, we get to announce our blue chip sponsor in Bathurst Auto Parts. It's very exciting to have them on board. We're here at Sandown today announcing that. We've had a drive day with all of the executives and staff members from Bathurst. So to actually involve them in the process of launching the car looks fantastic. It's really come up well. And we're very excited now that we finally get let the cat out of the bag and go to the Grand Prix full of confidence. Let's go and get some results.
There is a lot of excitement behind TCR in Australia. The level of driver and teams in the field now wanting to get involved is fantastic. We're going to have 5 Hondas on board.
The season launch for TCR at Winton. Times were being recorded. Tony, quickest time of the day by 8/1000ths of a second.
We were pretty happy with that, to be honest. It was quicker than what we did there last year in qualifying on new tyres, and so that just shows that we have progressed with the car. But testing is testing. It gives us a bit of confidence, a bit of momentum going into the year, and also shows the other teams up and down pit lane that we're serious about trying to go that one step further this year.
the TCR launch day at Winton today. I want to give away a hot lap in the Audi RS3 TCR car. Let's see who we can find. A few people out here
That's
today,
you.
having a bit of a look around.
Got me, guys.
Yeah. G'day,
There
mate.
he
I'm
is.
Liam.
Hello.
Chris. Nice to meet you, Chris. You having a good time today?
Just
Good
the
stuff.
spare.
How would you like to come for a bit of a hot lap later in the Audi TCR car?
Absolutely love to.
Yeah, how are we?
Loving life.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Do you want to go find it with us?
Yep.
Awesome. Too easy.
Down here with the old rock shirt on.
No,
Of course.
Nice to meet you. Liam, nice
no,
to meet
not
you.
today.
We're giving away a hot lap today in the Audi TCR.
What's happening?
Do you hear again? Do I click screen, don't I?
The sun's decided to finally donate it to you.
No. Where do I go?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Too easy. Get you all suited up and
Yep.
off we'll go.
Yep.
Cool.
See you later, Peter Brock.
My feelings ahead of going to the lap is I don't really know. I'll probably tell you after. Yes, very good. I don't think I'll take up car racing.
Let's have a look at the way that they have qualified in Astron Tech qualifying. Harley Haver, Ash Sutton, front row. I reckon I've said that a few times over the course of this series. Cody Bircher next from James Golding, then Will Brown and Jaden Ransley. Second last round, double points next week at Bathurst. You got to get it done in this one. You get to re-qualify in F3. Doesn't matter now. Harley Haver off and running this long run towards the Tamburello chicane. Let's see if all 40-plus cars make it on through as Haver tucks to the inside. Ash Sutton looks to the outside as they sweep through turn one. Birch is in the mix. Sutton getting down the inside on the run to the next corner as we pick it on up, and Haver gets back to the front. Sutton goes around the outside now to try to earn that spot back. The blue car to the inside is Cody Bircher, and Sutton is out wide.
Chuckles,
He
Nunes,
loses
is there, buddy?
on that run up the
Oh,
hill.
you in your cupboard again?
In
I
front,
am.
leading the way. 21 back in the
Love
pack.
it.
It is
I need a,
really,
timing
really
screen.
thrilling as they push
Oh, I'm
for
not
early
supposed to ask.
space. Nathan Hearn with Will Brown side by side as we're halfway around this first lap. It is a 20-minute timed race, and it's the case now. Will Brown and Hearn get together, and the HMO customer racing car is off the road. It's Haver, Bircher and Golding. Top three managed to break away from the rest of the pack.
Did you get it right? Did you get it?
Going on.
Chuckles,
Jaden
Chuckles?
Ramsey sitting in fourth.
got my
Ash
butt.
Sutton and Tim Brook. End of lap one.
I'm going to look like one of these wankers.
Noel,
how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Very good.
What was the dinner of choice?
Just two slices of toast pushed down like a sweet
Oh.
crash test dummy video.
Oh, tasty.
So what was this? SimSpeed.tv?
Turned into this series of chicanes after that weekend in
.live.
94 from 1995 onwards, but it gives you another chance to make another passing move and set up a run down this next straight. So Keith now.
Yes, please.
The run on the exit. Cox
Would be
knows
helpful.
it sits mid-track, but
A
that
little
might
bit of
be
DL.
enough to stop O'Keefe.
Oh,
from having
mate,
a
it's
look.
top notch.
This is where this track's good.
It's
You can
Caruso
get
standing on
switchbacks
carpet
into the
once more.
chicanes, and there's a long run to the next corner.
I hate
But
to
of
give
course,
away
Cox
the
will wake
secrets,
up to
but
that
it's
and
true.
Park it right at the turn.
That's exactly what happened, but look at this.
No, so we
O'Keefe
should
has
have
been
10
waiting
minutes
for the right moment. It's been
remaining now.
combination of corner after combination of corner.
Yep.
He's got the run now.
9:58.
Looks to the inside of Jordan Cox. Jordan Cox is all elbows though, pushing him
Oh, it was a
right
good timing.
into
Yep.
the circuit as Dylan O'Keefe looks to the outside. Look how squirmy
Remember,
Cox is under brakes.
Chuckles go
And
on
O'Keefe
Chrome
got
or
it, and
Firefox,
set
not on
him up
Safari.
a long
Yep,
way
that's
back
what I
there.
got.
Did
Yeah,
Dylan
cool.
O'Keefe in a great
Have you
move.
heard that there's a
Have a
last-minute
look, just
entry,
outside the top
Chuckles
10.
Knuckles?
Michael
Yes.
Clemente in
The
the
40th
Word
entry?
15 car,
The
Aaron
40th
Cameron
entry?
behind in the Valvoline car,
Webb
Declan
and
Fraser,
Patrizzi?
who stepped into the
Bit of a,
TCR car,
2011 reunion.
Next Jason
No, 2012, and they were in
12
separate
reunion?
cars. Separate cars, though.
in this first race.
I've only got the
Two
screen with
tonight,
all of the drivers
and Cameron showing the nose down
at the
to
moment. Is that the right one?
turn one, gets it done, doors left
Yeah, I
open
think
and
that's
it
right.
slides on through. Cameron, we've got a good fight here. Dylan O'Keefe is in
Says
a
the
rumble
bottom
with
no
Cody
audio
Bircher,
screen,
who's
that's the
using
the
all the
heading.
road, bit of curb, a little bit of grass potentially coming up here as well. This is a pretty decent
track
fight.
with
The battle
9
pack is
minutes.
for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th. Aaron Seaton in that, do we call it bright yellow car? It's lime green. It depends on what your eyesight's like. He's at the tail of the queue here.
Yeah, I was
and
going
this
to
is
say, so
bubbling
top
with
left
7
you've got
minutes to go.
Nathan Hurd.
Yeah, Birch
Then
has
you got
dropped right back,
Robbo,
hasn't he,
then
from earlier on in this
AVL,
race, and really under pressure and
TD,
running wide
the
there is
great
not
Rob
gonna help him.
James.
So Dylan O'Keefe got to run, and he's
Rick
through now.
Yeah, Rick James.
Birch just slots in behind him.
So
That puts Mazzaroli
is
behind
James
him,
Owen a
and you're
sim
right. There's
dude,
the
I
potential
presume,
they could all trip
guys?
over each other here as they squirm
Okay.
and look for position. And Dylan O'Keefe will be able to break the back of him now. But it
who
looks like
else have we got
Mazzaroli now
here?
through.
Whoop,
On first
contact. Martin
Jane
Jones
Ransley.
back
Oh,
in,
yeah,
Cody
okay.
Bircher,
Yep,
Cameron
yep.
sent
Jimmy
the young
Golding.
gun off the road.
Tom Randall
This is
at
the battle
work.
for second spot. They run
Martin
wide.
Sinclair,
The
but with
cars are just
Zach
getting a
Hanlon
bit
at the
loose towards the
helm.
back end of the race. Golding's going to do what he can to
Andre
keep Sutton at bay. Sutton
Den.
has a good look at the strengths
the
and
fabulous
weaknesses of the
one
car in
looks
front
like
of him.
he's
He'll be setting him
at
up
home
for a
with
run.
his model
1 minute
cabinet in the background
43
there. That looks pretty
remaining
funky.
in this race.
Dylan
This is the battle
O'Keefe,
for
high
the
vis
minor
bugs.
steps on the podium. Sutton
Big
steps out, has a look
GT.
at Golding. Golding's
Cam
gonna make
Mason,
his
we presume that
Audi
is.
touring car.
Next line's
Exceptionally
Braden
wide, runs
Wilmington.
wide on the exit,
Stevie
though.
J on the
So this gives
phone.
Sutton a chance. Sutton has a
Jason
look,
Gomersall and
takes
his
the
young bloke
opportunity up
over his
inside.
shoulder, who you can tell is his young bloke because they look
Slow
quite
down
similar.
penalty for Golding. He
Uh,
had to
yep,
relinquish
and
that
then
one
who's that
slow
next?
because he's been taking too
In
much
the
curb,
what?
bringing
Okay,
it
where are
on
they
home
at? Looks
towards
like they're at a
the
sim
run to
joint.
Ravazza on one of these circuits that so many people will have
Yeah.
watched so much racing over the years as he drops on down.
Who
This
dat,
is a handy
Brent?
margin. 6 seconds.
Grant's looking
at
and
the
going,
moment,
don't
and he's
know.
going to bring this one home.
Hang on, he's just going to have a look at AJ's computer and see.
Comfortable
And is
enough
that
just,
bottom right,
adjust
is that
himself in his
Tim
seat.
Brooks?
Make his way through the
Set up at
final
Eastern Creek?
corner.
It says Jaden O'Jader on
Very
my
similar
listening to it.
thing here, but
We're good. You're better
yeah.
though. There's job done.
That's a pretty good good lineup.
Yeah. But what's
Do
the
we
go?
have
Sutton on the front row, Haber and Ransley row 2, O'Keefe and Cox are next from Mazzaroli and Bargwana, Martin and Randall rounds out the top 10. Cody Bircher, Ash Sutton front row. Series leader Harley Haber and Jaden Ransley, the top two in this title, start on the second row. Great start from Bircher. The wild card has got us rolling to Tamburello as they file out and try to get some room and find some road. Will they all make it out the other side? Does our series points leader emerge from Tamburello without a problem? It all looks okay for our front runners as they run their way on the exit of Tamburello, building up tyre temperature, building up speed in this first lap. 20 minutes on the clock. This is going to be a good one. It's messy. That car is definitely in big trouble. So that takes out one of the contenders on this opening lap. The young gun from GRM is limping and that left front tyre is bouncing. It is not attached. Problem here for Jack Doohan, the Red Bull Junior Team car slipping down outside the 10, coming to a standstill, and he's done. Total replay will tell us more. Okay, we're hearing that he might have lost his throttle pedal here as well. So, no matter the case, he's in huge drama. He is not going to contend in this one, and a top 3 or 4 position goes begging for our star driver. Of course, James Golding will see in the S5000s when they crank back into life at Sydney Motorsport Park in August, driving for GRM in that series. That's tight there. Randall with a bit of contact with Jaden Ransley, second place driver in the series.
14 minutes remaining in this race. Looking at Tom Randall there inside his sim. And he's sitting in the top 6 at the moment, a fair way off the lead though. Bit of work, and that's a lot more work for Tom Randall.
Yep, he's found himself well off the road.
But that was a change for the lead. Ash Sutton now leading Cody Bircher.
Panda fuel car to the lead, but Sutton didn't hit that curb right. He did not hit the curb right. There's a car wrecked in the middle of the road. Looks like it's Will Brown, but Sutton flipped the curb at Villeneuve, slowed him down on the run to Tosa, and then the change happened back to Cody Bircher to take the lead back.
Some other news there. Jordan Cox, who was running inside the top 4, has now dropped back into the 6 at the moment. I'm not sure what's happened with Jordan Cox as we see the battle for the lead again. Bircher and Sutton banging wheels.
Oh, this is willing. Sutton around the outside, got it done for Tamburello. He'll be compromised on the exit. The run up now to the next chicane at Villeneuve, and in the tow, the slipstream in iRacing really takes effect. Bircher can't get it done here, but it's about the exit of Villeneuve and then run up the inside. Launch to the inside at Tosa. Sutton knows it, but he was in pretty deep there. He had that Dallara squirreling around. The Panther Fuel, 1:16. There's still 11 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. 7 minutes on the clock. Sutton is the leader. Bircher's in behind him. They've changed positions a couple of times in the last few laps. Big toe down the pit straight. Bircher will have to go the long way at Tamburello because Sutton will not give him the inside in this contact as well. That was brewing. Bircher fires it through the sand, dropping componentry on the way through. Comes out the other side, but Sutton is off and running. And I wouldn't mind betting that that car's got damage. There is Ben Bargwanna with his Bathurst winning dad Jason looking over the shoulder. Of course, Bargs and Garth Tander, the winners at Bathurst in 2000 for GRM in a Holden Commodore VT. But the Peugeot that is now Bargs' weapon of choice in TCR is a very different car. And Bargwanna sliding around here, Golding putting the pressure on. The clock is really counting down. There'll be one lap to go as they fire across the line on the virtual Imola circuit. Golding's in the tow now. It's a case of can Bargwanna stave him off?
Well, Golding moves out to the outside here. Does he get a run on him? Great to see Jason Bargwanna looking as inconspicuous as possible, wearing fluorescent orange in the background. And Ben doing a great job holding him off. Look at this. You can see even the father watching on, just getting a bit edgy there. As Jimmy Golding locks in, he's under the rear wing. Pulls out. They go side by side, but Ben Bargwanna's done a great job to hold on.
There is our race leader, Harley Haber, in P2, but it's Ash Sutton who has got the job done, wins race 2 in this penultimate round of the series. Our points leader, Harley Haber, is home in position 2. This is the good fight. Golding's going for 5th, looks to the outside at Ravazza, trying to get the run back down the inside. Bargwanna's wide. This is the chance for Golding. Got it done. P5. He will get it on the run to the checkered flag. Little mistake from Bargwanna. Has barely put a wheel wrong, but he puts one wrong right at the wrong time, and he loses the spot. Cam, let's recap the results, and it was Ash Sutton the winner from Harley Haber. 7.8 seconds the margin in the end. Jordan Cox P3. Jaden Ransley, great job. P4. He keeps the title fight alive going to Bathurst next week.
Hi everybody, welcome along tonight to our final round. It is the grand finale, our championship decider of the carsales ARG eSport Cup. And we've mixed it up tonight because we are going endurance racing at Mount Panorama. I'm Aaron Noonan, Michael Caruso is with me again. Robbo, co-drivers, Bathurst, this is bound to be big.
Mate, this is exactly what we love doing. We love going to Bathurst.
Yep.
Best piece of tarmac on the planet, I think.
Oh, in the stratosphere, I think, yeah.
and obviously, you know, it's synonymous with co-drivers and the history that has endurance races.
Now, speaking of co-drivers, you've spent a very big budget this week
I
to
have.
secure a co-driver for your Valvoline entry that by far and away will potentially deliver the biggest beating you've ever had at Bathurst history before. Andrew Van Leeuwen, the motorsport journalist, is your co-driver. Have you spent big budget here, or is he doing it for free?
Well, we all know that Van Leeuwen can deliver some big headlines, and that's exactly what I'm expecting from him tonight, is big things. And he's got a bit of a motor racing past. He does claim himself to be a very good race car driver. So
Doesn't every journalist?
Well, it's good to team up with a journo. I mean, you know, obviously in real life this wouldn't happen, so the opportunity to do it in the virtual world is really good. He's very, very excited, and you know, we've even got below the bonnet on the car as well. So we'll do a bit of a chat about it and debrief, you know, when we get on the pod as well.
It's a little bit strange that below the bonnet is actually above the roofline in terms of the signage on your car. We've got a field of 40 cars entered for tonight's final round of the series. It's a 2-driver, 2-hour endurance race in the Audi touring cars around the famous Mount Panorama circuit. Let's take a look at the way that the series looks coming into tonight, and it's Harley Haber who has been the dominant driver this year in the Kumho tyre entry. 5:42, 37 points in front of Jaden Ransley, the young Kiwi. Ash Sutton, Dylan O'Keefe and Jordan Cox are the only 5 drivers in mathematical contention tonight. It's double points, it's 100 points on the line, so you'd probably say it's out of the top 2 or 3 to win the title, but anything can happen. Double points, Bathurst. The guy who's 5th, Jordan Cox, could probably win this still.
And you're spot on. I mean, and you add the element of the co-driver as well. So we know that can be risky because these guys aren't probably as used to it as, you know, as the other boys have been consistently driving over the past few weeks. So there's plenty to contend with. And when you've got 40 odd cars on the grid around this track, there's no doubt there's going to be plenty of action.
There's a couple of rules to contend with in terms of how this race will unfold. So just quickly, what should our viewers tonight be looking for in terms of pit stops and how many times you'll be behind the wheel?
So there's going to be at least 3 pit stops that you need for fuel to get home, and a minimum of 50 minutes driving time per driver. So expect to see some people mix it up. I've already heard a few of the stars want to start and then finish the race because that's the typical
That's
way.
what you do at Bathurst if you're a star.
That's what the ego does. So it should be interesting. I think it'll be a good mix, and potentially tonight we could see safety cars. I mean, we haven't really seen any throughout the series, so you know, there's no doubt over 2 hours and that many cars and drivers. There's going to be some action.
I've got a funny feeling that we will say the term tonight, safety cars breed safety cars, on numerous opportunities. Hey, let's take a look at some of the star drivers, and for the final round we've saved up the star power for this final one. 2 stars from DJR Team Penske, Fabian Coulthard and Scott McLaughlin join us as co-drivers tonight. Fabian pairing up with Tony Delberto, his regular Supercars co-driver. Scott McLaughlin teams up with Ben McMillan in the pace entry. Chaz Mostert from Walkinshaw Andretti United, he's with his good mate Nathan Morecambe. Remember that they've raced together before and won the Bathurst 6-hour production car race a few years ago. And Shane Van Gisbergen, back on Aussie soil now, he's self-isolating in Queensland. He will pair up with his endurance driver, Garth Tander. It's Shane who is the enduro driver tonight. GT is the regular here at the Melbourne Performance Centre behind the wheel. Let's take a look at the venue, round 10 of 10. We know the track map pretty well, I would think by now. 6.2 kilometres, 23 corners, 40 entries, 1 late last-minute entry that we'll cover off a little later in qualifying. 2-hour race, as we mentioned, approximately an hour per driver, and it's double points. Now, I've taken a look through the videos over the years and of round 1 of this series. Those 6 spots are our hot spots where I reckon you could see some drama tonight, but you've spent some time on the graphics as well. And you've come up with a few more.
I've came up with what I believe is going to be the hot spots for the race, and as you can see there, the hot favourite has to be just off the chase there. I think we'll see a car end up there, there's no doubt about it.
That's where the Ridges Hotel is, right?
At the pub.
It is going to be a fantastic night of racing. Can't wait for it. Qualifying underway now to determine the grid for our 2-hour enduro in the final round of the carsales ARG eSport Cup. Before we join the action, here's a quick word from our friends at carsales.
This is how I'd sell a car. Proper marketing. Oh, put effort into your photos. Value your car appropriately. Like $500, I don't know, take it. I hate it. It's got beautiful signalers, you can put CDs in there. The right pedal goes all the way down, and it's got, it's a gear shift, and it's a stick shift. Sold. Wait, shouldn't this be in the car?
Hey everybody, great to have you with us. Astron Tech qualifying is underway for our final round of the carsales ARG eSport Cup. Aaron Noonan with you in the commentary box. My good commentary buddy Matt Nolte is back with me. Nolte, are you ready to rumble? 2 hours around the mountain, qualifying underway. Looking forward to this. We will crown a champion at the end of tonight.
It's been incredible. A couple of months of racing, Noons, absolutely, and why not finish where we started at the beautiful mountain, Mount Panorama. We're working our way through qualifying already. 7 minutes have been chewed up into this 2-driver race and 2 hours. I mean, is 2 hours ever enough around Bathurst?
Probably not, but we will deal with it tonight. This is the car on screen that leads the title fight coming into tonight. Harley Haber is the primary driver in the Kumho Tyre 21 car, but he's got a very good co-driver in Forzen El Nabi, who has popped up in the Supercars E-Series as a wild card in recent weeks. He is a super guru on the sim, and he's behind the wheel, working his way across the top, dropping down through the S's. Drivers have had practice sessions earlier on in the evening, and the time to really aim for is about the 2-minute 22 barrier. So that's what we're looking for. So far, the fastest time is a 2:23.046. But we will see potentially. That's Cooper Webster, who's sharing with Josh Files in the Airwalk 199 car. And as I say that, the 33 car of Dylan O'Keefe with his co-driver Jackson Sewell and Harlow behind the wheel has jumped to the top. First in the 22s in qualifying, 2:22.890. And with, just over 12 minutes to go, Matt, not many laps for these drivers to turn. You'll see on your totem pole there, Shane Van Gisbergen is qualifying car 75. He shares with Garth Tander in the JMEC racing car tonight. So a bit of a reversal. SVG is GT's co-driver. Of course, later in the year in the supercars, it's the other way around.
How's the stacked field just inside that top 10? All these drivers will look for a bit of real estate around here. I know it's 6.5 roughly Ks around here, but still, everybody bunched up here on their way towards the cutting. Webster's gone to the top now, incidentally, 2:22.531. Marvellous figures those, ahead of Harlow, who's just been eclipsed by his time by El Nabi, who moves back up into second position. You're in car with SVG climbing the shelf and towards the top of Silman Park here at the mountain. Astron Tech qualifying as we set the grid for the big 2-hour finale here tonight.
And Matt, it's a 40-car field. It's double the points, 100 to win the Enduro. Remember, the points are for the primary drivers. On board with Shane Van Gisbergen across the top of the mountain. 2-time runner-up in the great race. He sat on pole for the 1,000 before. He has been a winner of the 12-hour. But he's got a chance tonight to do some virtual racing success. I was just watching a car in the background there cut across the top of the mountain as Van Gisbergen brings that 75 car. Have a good look on these cars. You'll see those LED numbers down the side of them on the side windows. That's the reflection of the position that they currently sit in. Car 75 is P5 at the moment, but it's Cooper Webster who is the time to beat, 2:22.53, which has improved that mark. These times, no doubt, will come down and down as we sort out the grid for the 2-hour Enduro. There's no rules in terms of who starts or who finishes or compulsory stop windows or the like. It is do this race the best you can do it in, and the only real rule that you have to adhere to is that each driver must run a minimum of 50 minutes behind the wheel. How you cut it up after that in terms of your stops and what you do in those stops is up to you. So there'll be a fair bit of strategy tonight with 10 minutes to go in Astron Tech qualifying.
Just like that, halfway home in this session, you're looking at least 7 cars in one shot. Van Gisbergen coming around to complete a lap here. 5th position on the circuit with 2:23.1 for the 75 Melbourne Performance Centre team. And stays there with that lap. Got plenty of time on his side here. Most of the field have done about 2 or 3 laps in qualifying. Some have gone back into the pits, and maybe we'll wait towards the end of the session before we get a real look.
And that is not Shane Van
It's
Gisbergen.
not,
That is
okay.
Garth Tanner. He's a couple of doors down from me, Matt, here at Melbourne Performance Centre, keeping an eye on how his co-driver is going along. Of course, tonight's unique in that we have most of our drivers' lineups in separate places, in different states, in different cities. But we do have, yeah, we've been in separate commentary boxes for the whole season. But the thing is that there are a range of teams who are in the same physical sim. The Johnsons, the Bargwannas, the Masons. There's about 5 or 6. James Golding's got himself a good co-driver, Brad Newman, who is a Bathurst local, and he's his housemate. So they don't have to go anywhere. They've got it easy tonight.
Yeah, turned to a nice Thursday night house party, haven't they? Well, Tander watches on. Van Gisbergen goes across the top of the mountain here, taking 3 or 4 cars along for the ride. It's still 222.53 for Webster. That's just under 2.5 tenths of a second clear of El Nabi. Harlow is next ahead of Rugia, Van Gisbergen, O'Brien, Declan Fraser. Mostert is next, then Riley Preston and Blake Purdy. The top 10. 1 second, Noons, will buy you all the way back to Scott McLaughlin, who's 15th.
Matt, Garth Tander is on the line from the Melbourne Performance Centre, and GT, this is probably the busiest qualifying session at the mountain you've ever had. Not taking part. This is a bit unusual for you.
Nah, it's not. It's good. Shane, there was the strategy. Who's qualifying? I said, just like real life, mate, you're qualifying. So, yeah, no, just sitting here. It's quite strange because I've actually got the view up of him driving it. So I feel like I'm sitting in the cockpit as he's driving. So it's quite fun to watch. But yeah, no, why wouldn't you put Shane in to qualify? I reckon he's in the top 5 sim racers in the world at the moment. So you certainly have him doing all the hard work.
Well, he's top 5 at the moment in this session. P5 with just under 8 minutes left on the clock. Have you decided who's going to start the race? Are you going to leave him in for the start, or are you going to take over the wheel?
No, I've got to start because he didn't get his dinner strategy sorted out correctly. He's got to eat now while I do the start of the race because he's just got back from New Zealand and he's in quarantine at home. He doesn't have any food in the house, so he's stuffed up his first strategy, which was his dinner. So his penalty is that he's got to do a double stint to finish the race.
Fair enough. Then we'll see how this unfolds. 7 minutes to go. We'll have a chat to you a bit later on.
Bye.
There he is, Garth Tander, watching on as his co-driver does his thing. We saw a quick shot there of the Burson Auto Parts car with Ben Bargwanna at the helm. Stephen Johnson behind the wheel of the 17, the True Blue Audi, which is a little bit of a change from what we're used to. There is Stevie J racing at home in Queensland. Sun Jet is his co-driver tonight. He's on the run down Conrod Straight, flat out into the chase. And I reckon that might be Jet wandering around in the background there trying to see what's going on.
He was pointing at something then just for a moment, whether that was some glare or it's just time to get out of the room while he qualifies, perhaps.
He's just absolutely kicked him out of the way. 6.5 minutes to go, Matt, and car 17, I'm not seeing it up the top of my timing screen just yet here. So let's see if Stevie J can reel off something special here and move them up the order for the 2-hour enduro tonight. Of course, when it comes to small capacity touring car racing at Bathurst, that's not in the same sentence as Stephen Johnson's name. Generally over the years, it's been V8 Falcons, supercars, TCM Mustangs, and of course he'll be up there with a TCM Falcon later on in the year as we get the real life TCM series up and running again. At the moment, car 17 though is outside the top 30, just under 6 minutes to go. And Matt, it's still Cooper Webster with the fast time, 2:22.531, co-driving with Josh Files, who we had as a star driver in this series earlier on in the year. Forza El Nabi sitting in second spot in the championship, leading number 21. Ben Bargwanna behind the wheel of the Burson Auto Parts car, sharing with his dad Jason tonight. The 117 car is 27th at the moment on the timing screens as Ben works his way up the shelf towards the cutting. In behind, one of the HMO customer racing cars. And remember that Chaz Mostert is with us tonight racing as co-driver to Nathan Morecambe. We've got stars everywhere tonight, Matt. We've got McLaughlin, we've got Coulthard, we've got Van Gisbergen, we've got Mostert, we've got Andre Heimgartner's with us as well. He's co-driving for Jaden Ransley, who is second in the points coming into tonight, trying to win the series up against Harley Haber. 37 points is the margin between them with 100 left on the table for the winner. Under 5 minutes to go, and it is no surprise to see so many of these fast sim drivers put behind the wheel for qualifying and turning times. Justin Rougier is now 4th fastest. the Aussie Racing Cars reigning champion and former Kumo V8 Touring Car Series champ. Change for the top though. Car 33, Jackson Sullivan-Harlan is going to the top right now. Harlow has managed to grab a 222.44, so he's got a 10th of a second now on Webster. He's co-driving for Dylan O'Keefe, who comes into the night, Matt, 4th in the series, and mathematically still a capable driver of winning the title.
Absolutely, and a bit of pressure from these co-drivers, particularly for the guys that are vying for this championship, which we'll declare in about 2 and a bit hours' time here. Tonight, Ruggier, who's had a load of experience too in E-Series competition for many, many years now. He teamed up with Shane Van Gisbergen on more than one occasion for those big, long endurance races, so keep an eye on him well inside the top 5 at the moment as he head towards the closing point. This is Jaden Ransley at Hell Corner. I can't believe how quick the time does go away, but that margin, Noons, first to second, less than 1/10 of a second.
And this is critical for the track tech driver, Jaden Ransley. He's sharing with Andre Heimgartner. You can see Andre there on screen. It's Jaden at the wheel at the moment, turning these qualifying times. It's trying to get them up the order. Car 47 at the moment sits in 16th position on the grid, and the title fight, series points leader Harley Haber's car, is currently 3rd. Let's have a chat to the Ned man himself. G'day, Andre. Welcome back to join us. You drove with us in the F3 car at Silverstone a couple of weeks ago, but you've got a bit of pressure tonight. You're carrying some championship chances here.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty interesting, but I left the qualifying up to him. He's obviously done a good job so far, and I didn't want to be the one to stuff it all up for him. So I'll let him take the reins tonight and see if we can stay out of trouble and get it the championship, or at least just have a bit of fun.
Have you squeezed in some laps in the Audi around the mountain this week, or have you been pretty busy with getting ready, obviously running the Mustang in the Supercar Series?
Yeah, we've done a few laps. We've done a bit of testing and stuff, but the model of iRacing has sort of changed and the setup's changed. So really the only valuable testing was really today that we did. So not massive amount of laps, just sort of stuffing around. Had a few practice races and a good laugh with all the boys, and yeah, it was all good fun.
Do you start the race, or do you let Jaden start the race?
Oh, I don't know. We haven't really worked this out, so I think we'll know about 5 minutes before the race. So if you got any hot tips, let us know.
Well, it's a 50-50 here on who's going to do it. You may as well muscle in here, mate. You've got all that Bathurst experience. Come on.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Who knows? Because there's so many things, most of the time you want your fastest driver at the end, but if you can get a good position off the start and he can charge his way forward and hang on to that front group, then I sort of have to just hang on. So it's a bit of strategy to go on, but we'll wait and see what happens.
All right, mate. We'll catch up with you a bit later on. Good to have you with us.
Cheers. Thanks.
There he is, Andre Heimgartner, sharing tonight with Jaden Ransley, who is at the moment, Matt, at the bottom of Mountain Straight, looking to punch in a lap time. He's 17th on the grid now. He's a bit wide at Murray's Corner to finish this one off as he brings it to the line. He'll get one more lap against the clock to try to move his way up the order, but in fact, there is a pile-up on pit straight. Cars going every which way. He had just gone to P5, so he got the lap in and then was in a wreck.
I've no words to that one.
No.
There's a couple of cars slowing on the left-hand side as he finished his lap, and now a lot of damage with just over a minute to go. Has that hurt anybody else's final laps that they were starting? For Cooper Webster, who sat there at the top, now finds himself in second position. And this is his last lap of the session right now. Going back to Ransley, that's a great combination. Both he and Andre Heimgartner here tonight. We've seen Ransley in Toyota 86 competition, both here and in New Zealand over the past couple of years as well. He finished second in the championship over there 2 seasons back. Of course, they run a bit different to us. They run over the summertime period there, so it becomes like a 1920 campaign, if you will.
Having a look there at a wide range of drivers working their way around the mountain with 30 seconds to go. And Justin Ruggier, we're watching here on board the number 12 car, sharing with Peter Hurd tonight, the RTC Motorsport entry, that black car, and he and Van Gisbergen are towing one another down Conrod Straight. SVG tucked right in behind the rear wing of that Audi RS3, sweeps around to get the benefit of the tow, and then working together is always going to help get that little bit more speed in a straight line down the mountain. Van Gisbergen a little bit wide there out towards the curve on the exit at turn 22. This is a good lap. Can he do it? Clock is stopping right now, so checkered flag will be ready and waiting for Shane Van Gisbergen. Final turn 23 brings him onto the pit straight. Can he push this car, a 75 of Garth Tanner, to the pole position or to the front row of the grid? He's 11th on the times at the moment. He's got to 6th. It's a 22.913, third row of the grid. Cooper Webster here finishing off the lap, the young Hyundai Excel racer who's sharing with Josh Files tonight in the Airwalk 199. They're on the front row no matter what here at the moment, but can they move themselves to pole position and the inside for the rolling start 2-hour enduro? Let's finish it off here, see what he can punch out on the run to the line. He's looking to beat a 2:22.44, but it was slow up and it will not earn him any moving up spots on the grid. Tony Delberto, Matt, car 50, sharing with Fabian Coulthard tonight, the KMC Wheels entry. We've taken Tony's name off the side of the car. He's put a sponsor on instead of his own name. That's a better way to do it.
Pays more money as well. There is Tony D, focusing. He, of course, joined the coverage at the beginning of the season, then got the racing bug back and has been behind the wheel for pretty much the second half of this year's series. The finish line, he comes in car 50.
He was wide at the last corner there, Matt, and I think he knows he was kicking himself to try to find some more speed. Cody Bircher jumps to P10 behind the wheel of car 29. He's co-driving with Nathan Hearn, who is 6th in the series coming into tonight. But we're done, Matt. Time is out for Astron Tech qualifying, and Jackson Sulan-Harlow, co-driver for Dylan O'Keefe, has grabbed pole position for the final round of the carsales ARG eSport Cup. And that is going to put us in a very interesting position. Series points leader Harley Haber, he will start from P3. His title main competitor, Jaden Ransley, starts P5. So we've got a good result here. The two championship contenders are just separated. They're on alternate rows of the grid. We could not have asked for it really much better.
This is a very good scenario. So 2-driver race, qualifying done now. Margin was just under 1/10 of a second. Cooper Webster just missed out. His last lap was only a 10.5 away from his best lap of the session. He'll be the front row with Forsen El Nabi and Dean O'Brien qualifying 3rd and 4th for this race. O'Keefe getting set for his run there.
Matt, he's listening to us. Let's have a chat to Dylan O'Keefe, who is now behind the wheel of the sim. I guess, Dylan, when your co-driver gets pole, you can now claim the glory and start the race, huh?
Yeah, I know. He's done an excellent job. That's why I chose him. So congrats to Jackson. Shows how quick he is. So pressure's on me now. Hopefully I can get through my stint nice and clean. I'll take the start, and then yeah, we'll see how we go.
Hey, Jackson's on the line. I'm hearing as well. Jackson, you got us there?
Yep, gotcha.
Hey, great job, mate. You've put Dylan in a really good spot here. His title hopes are still alive. It's a very much an outside chance here, but you couldn't have done much better there. Nice job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're starting off in the best place possible, and yeah, title hopes aren't over. So hopefully, me and Dylan can yeah, try and win the race and do everything we can to try and yeah, get him close to the championship win, and just hope that the others have a couple of bad runs and we can yeah, benefit from them.
Where are you racing from tonight?
I'm not racing from Sydney, so yeah, a bit far away from Dylan, but obviously over the sim we can race together, so which is cool.
Definitely cool. Is Dylan going to start the race?
Yeah, Dylan's going to start the race, do what he does best, and yeah, he'll do. I know he'll do a consistent job, keep the car straight, and he'll do everything he can to hand it back over to me in the best place possible, and I've just got to do my job.
All right, we wish you all the best tonight. Good to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
There they are, our pole sitters. Yeah, great combination. And Dylan was straight away when this race was announced to get a co-driver. He was his first choice because he knows he's a gun on the sim, and that's what he needs for tonight's final.
So that's how it looks. The final round, Astron Tech qualifying just finishing a few moments ago, and that's how they'll start for this 2-hour race. A minimum of 50 minutes per driver will be the order of the day, and 38 litres of fuel at each stop there. So we'll break down the strategy as the race unfolds here. Ash Sutton starting from the 4th row with Bo Albert, who was quick initially in practice tonight. Riley Preston and Cody Bircher starting at the bottom of the top 10. Of course, Preston teaming up with Braden Wilmington here tonight.
Outside of the top 10, Justin Rougier, Luca Giacomin sharing tonight in car 18 of Aaron Cameron. Job Stewart Erebus Academy drivers sharing with Will Brown. We haven't really spoken too much about Will tonight. Ben McMillan has Scotty McLaughlin as his co-driver for car 39. Brock Feeney's jumping in with Declan Fraser. Nathan Morecambe, 17th with Chaz Mostert on the grid. Tom Randall starting position 18, teaming up with F4 racer Lockie Hughes. Ollie Meyer sharing with Tim Brook in 19th on the grid. James Golding in the Valvoline 31 with Brad Newman. They start position 20 back on row 10.
Man, the names just inside the bottom part of the top 20 just then. So keep an eye on that part of the field. 40 cars, 80 drivers getting set, locked in. Final moments before we go racing at noon. Something I really like about this tonight, it's a rolling start.
Takes you back to the 1988 Tui's 1000, does it not?
There'll be some criticism about it, but I think this will be cool. There'll be a bit of carnage, but I think this will be cool.
All right, they're lined up behind the safety car. We've got double file start, 40 cars, the Audi touring cars set to compete around the mountain, and we will decide a champion at the end of this 2-hour race. Matthew, I hope you are stocked up on sustenance, lollies, drinks, good to go for this final round. 2-hour enduro around the mountain. Dylan O'Keefe, Josh Files to line up on the front row. Harley Haber from third. Dean O'Brien is starting in car 48. He's sharing with Dylan Shepherd in the MPC entry. And we get rolling. Turn 1 awaits at Mount Panorama, Matt. 2 hours on the clock. The enduro is underway. And it's Dylan O'Keefe who takes the lead into turn 1. Harley Haber already through to second as they climb the mountain on lap 1.
First part is ticked. We've got a car on the wrong side of Hell Corner at the back of the field, but everybody looks like they played the patience game. Apart from that, as we climb Mountain Straight for the first time, 2-hour endurance race here. It's not a lap race. So everybody hustles for positions on the first lap. O'Keefe and Haber on their way to the top here. It's too wide into Griffin's Bend. I'm just holding my breath because you know it's like that commentator's curse of mine. Yes, to follow me wherever we go, but so far, so good.
That Rondo car at turn 1 that was off the road, I'm pretty sure that's the Nathan Morecambe and Chaz Mostert car. So those boys are going to have to work their way through really tight as they work their way through the cutting. Lap 1, 2 hours on the clock. This is going to be an absolute stonker with double points on the line. Lots could change in terms of the championship picture, but Dylan O'Keefe from the pole position is moving away, across the top of the mountain, but it's not getting away too far. Harley Haber, points leader, 542 points coming into tonight's race. Jaden Ransley second, 505. First time across the top of the mountain, trying to get some temperature in the tyres as they drop through the S's and tumble on down through the dip of the run to Forest's Elbow. The front wheel drive Audi touring cars, you'll get to see cars like this. In fact, this very car among the carsales TCR Australia Series field that will compete later in the year at the Bathurst International in November. Great to get real racing back running soon, but right now it's all about deciding our inaugural carsales ARG eSport Cup champs. Down Conrod Straight for the first time. Harley Haber and Dylan O'Keefe are going at it.
So settle in from the bottom of the chase, and a challenge on here for the lead already. Keep in mind, this is an endurance race compared to what we've had over the past 9 rounds in the carsales eSports Cup. Through the chase we go with O'Keefe. Haber, the points leader, wanting to win, but also wanting to win the championship here tonight. He'll drive with a cautious head, but O'Keefe will lead us down to the bottom turn, the final turn at the end of lap number 1, and a spicy battle brewing for the top 5.
Got a funny feeling there'll be plenty of spice going on tonight, Matt, as they fan out down pit straight. Top 6 have broken away from the following pack. Down the inside, Ash Sutton, the British touring car champ of a couple of years ago, shoving a move on Dean O'Brien. That's the car that we've seen Nick Carroll behind the wheel of throughout the course of this series. And this is tight. Ransley's going for it. The young Kiwi to the outside on the run-up Mountain Straight. Turn 2, Griffin's Bend awaits. I don't want to be on the outside there with the car on the inside. He's going to have to settle in and file in here because there's no grip on the outside there at turn 2.
Having a go anyway, aren't they? On that Mountain Straight, so we follow Ransley in the 47, teaming up with Heimgartner. We spoke to Andre just before as they climb through the cutting here. The second lap, and already just over 4 minutes of racing here in the final round of this year's carsales eSports Cup. To the top of Salmon Park we go. O'Keefe, Haber, Files, Sutton and O'Brien is the top 5. Ransley's next with Bo Albert in 7th position. Back to Preston at Tander 9th and Nathan Hearn completes the top 10 here. Ruggiero just outside there in 11th position ahead of Stewart. He's teaming up with Will Brown in the HMO Customer Racing entry. Blake Purdy has dropped down into 13th position. Thomas Randall, James Golding and Ben McMillan, 14th, 15th and 16th on the circuit.
And Matt, I'm pleased you mentioned Ben McMillan. His co-driver is listening to us at the moment, the reigning Bathurst 1000 champ. Scotty McLaughlin joins us on the line. Hey Scotty, welcome along to have a run here at the mountain tonight. You're in the co-driver role. This has got to feel really weird.
It is weird. It's weird when the co-drivers, we're at a little qualifying session, and Benny's like, no, you're qualifying. And I'm like, oh mate, I'm not getting paid enough for that. But certainly it's a pretty fun time. It's good to be in the Pacemobile having a crack and enjoyable. I know Benny for a few years now, and it's cool to be doing it with him, and he's running really well. But I'm not a good watcher, that's for sure.
These sorts of cars are completely different from what you're used to racing, but probably takes me back to your younger days, about a decade ago. Mini challenge cars about as close to one of these as you've ever driven as Ben goes off the road. We're on board with him in the chase at the moment. He just had a slip off at the final turn 22, but he's got himself back rolling again and only lost a couple of spots. But I guess this is probably as close to a mini challenge car as you've ever driven. Probably, really?
Yeah, probably the closest. I'm just like flipping out right now. I'm just like, come on, Benny, keep it up, keep it up. But, I'm watching live as well. But yeah, look, I've never really driven too many front wheel drive cars. This is very much the first time. And I jumped on a couple of days ago, did a lap. And then iRacing changed all the fundamentals of the car, so the cars are a little bit slower tonight than they were a couple of nights ago. So I had to adapt again about an hour ago, but look, it's fun, it's good, but just got to try and keep Benny out of trouble here and we'll have a bit of fun.
Sounds like a plan to me, my friend. Have you got the super duper glasses on tonight? We've noticed you in the E-Series running them for the glare of your screen. Have you got the frames on tonight, or are you going without?
I do. I was actually meant to. I'll join the Zoom now, and you guys can get a little bit on board later on when I'm driving the car. But I'm running the frames. Yeah, I look like like someone from Team America or a Thunderbird, one of those. But I'm having fun.
It's good to have you with us. Have some fun, and we'll chat to you a bit later on.
Cheers, Noons.
There he is, Scotty McLaughlin, the reigning Bathurst 1000 champ, as we have a look at the top of the hill. And Ben McMillan's managed to get himself up and rolling again after slipping off the road before. He sits in 20th spot at the moment, looking back at Lachlan Maneath, the young Formula 4 driver who's teaming up with Brett the Jet Holdsworth. Top of the hill, Harley Haber's now the race leader in the Kumho tyre number 21 car, with O'Keefe, Sutton, Files, O'Brien, Ransley, Bo Albert and Riley Preston making up your top 8, who are pretty much running nose to tail as they come onto Conrod Straight, lap 3 in this 2-hour race.
So that happened while we were talking to Scott McLaughlin just a few moments ago. So Haber, the series leader, and puts a margin already on O'Keefe, who's got Sutton for company. 2nd and 3rd position now. Files runs in 4th position, high above Mount Panorama, and on their way down to the chase here. 1 hour and 53 minutes of racing remaining. We've just chalked over nearly 7 minutes of racing. Change of position now for 2nd as Sutton moves up the spot and takes that away from O'Keefe.
Nice move, really authoritative. Down the inside under brakes. Into the chase, Haber's just starting to edge his way clear. That Kumho tyre car has set the fastest lap of the race so far, 2:23.571. And, drama, off the road, number 5. Normally, oh boy, Bo Albert's involved here with the Nathan Hearn car, the Gulf Western Oil car, that Cody Birch is behind the wheel of. Bit of a late change tonight. Mia Ott has replaced George Medicki in car 5, and that is Tony Delberto in the number 50 car, the KMC Wheels car, in the wall under the bridge at the bottom of Conrod Straight. TD
That's a separate incident.
Yeah, I think so. That was all a little strange.
So he was running in 34th position. You can see it dropping down. Total replay may tell us the story. The KMC Wheels entry coming down towards the chase here. So 2 or 3 incidents here. Watch the red and black number 5 here.
Yeah, this is the first part of it. You'll see up in front, a car runs a little wide. Yeah, it was O'Brien, and Albert had nowhere to go. Oh, there's the contact on the way through from the Gulf Western Oil car. How does Delberto end up in the wall? Oh boy, there was another one going off. Well, Delberto's still in the chase when all this happens, so he ends up part of the accident. Oh no! Goes left, ends up in the wall where, remember the Rat, Paul Radisich, had that huge shut in the Team Kiwi car in 2006, and wrong place, wrong time motors really for TD, and he's in drama.
Well, the Total replay telling the story. That car's gone back into the pits with significant damage. Meantime, the leading group coming down through the Cooper's Dipper and on their way towards Griffin's Bend. Haber, the gap is 0.3 of a second. Not now, it's not. As the former British Touring Car champion locks onto the back at Forest Elbow. Left O'Keefe away now, mate. He's at 1.6 seconds away from these guys. Ransley in 4th position, Files and Preston 5th and 6th. Then it's Tander in 7th. Rugia now inside the top 10 in position 8. Tom Randall and James Golding. Remember, those guys were all at the bottom of the top 20 when this race began just 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, Golding's made up 10 spots. Look at this challenge for the lead. Sutton down the inside at the chase. For Haber, there's no reason to fight that move because he is really racing Jaden Ransley. He should not worry about anybody else. Tony D'Alberto's on the phone, my friend. Wrong place, wrong time there by the look of it.
Yeah, it was. Just trying to avoid the incident and end up going on the gravel to try and avoid it. Yeah, hit the tyres, unfortunately.
How long's your repair time in pit lane?
We did a quick repair, so it was like a minute and a half towed, so it hurts us a little bit, but still in race still. I've got my secret weapon up my sleeve jumping in later, so it's not all lost just yet.
Well, speaking of the secret weapon, he's on the phone, he's listening. Fabian Coulthard on the Gold Coast, welcome to you. Your co-driver here has made your life really tough tonight.
Yeah, that's okay. I actually had my head down. I was ordering Uber Eats, but I've actually looked up and we've had a little bit of strife, but yeah, not much Tony could do avoiding reversing cars. So got a little bit of a long night ahead, but we'll have some fun doing it.
Perhaps the biggest question I need to ask you, what's for dinner?
Well, I was going to go to my local tyre shop. You know, obviously this time of year we're supporting local businesses.
Yeah, good man.
But yeah, he seems to be shut, so that's not a good sign.
All right, we'll let you get your dinner strategy in order and get yourself ready to rumble when TD undoubtedly brings this car storming back through the field.
Hey, we're making a bit of headway there. It was good.
All right, we'll get back out of your ear and let Tony get back to work. He's got a bit of time to make up, and the fight for the lead is on, Matt, at the top of the hill. Sutton, Haber, O'Keefe and Ransley, the top 4 now, have broken away from Riley Preston, who's driving the 89 car tonight, the Braden Wilmington car. He's co-driving with him, and they are in the next part of the challenging group as we ride on board with the Panther Fuel 116. Sutton's been a multiple race winner in this carsales ARG eSport Cup as they fire their way onto Conrod Straight. I can't wait to see these cars on the mountain in November for the carsales TCR Australia Series. And look at this, bump drafting central. Haber picks up the slipstream and pushes the 116 car into the chase. They've got to be going a couple of Ks faster there than they would normally go on their own.
And that began just coming through the dip. He really had the best drive coming out of Forest Elbow, and now pushing Ash Sutton along here, quite literally through the chase on the previous corner and down into Hell Corner. I was having a bit of a chuckle to myself, not that I laugh that often, Noons, as you know. The difference between the clothing attire between Tony D and Fabian Coulthard just a moment ago. One's all rugged up, the other one's in the Queensland summer wear. Might be a mild 19 degrees up there tonight.
You can tell who's racing where. And the other thing that is unique tonight is Sutton and Haber fight over the lead at turn 1. We're on the start of lap 6. Michael Caruso and Andrew Van Leeuwen, co-drivers, podcast partners. They're on the phone tonight. Which of you has started? Where are you running in the field? And what's the other one's excuse? Oh, seems like we've lost those two. Michael Caruso and Andrew Van Leeuwen teaming up in the Valvoline. Number 7 entry in tonight's 2-hour enduro. Come again, Matt?
I'm looking forward to that answer.
Well, I'll ask the question again when they get on the line. We seem to have lost them as we were teeing them up, but it looks like this fight at the front, Matt, the top 4 are really starting to break away. They're running mid to high 23s. The chasing drivers are out in the 24s. That is Ash Sutton leading the way. Top of the hill, Jake Blackhall will be his co-driver. Here is the number 7, the Valvoline car of Andrew Van Leeuwen behind the wheel, the motorsport.com journalist and part of the Below the Bonnet podcast team, and pairing up with Michael Caruso. So I'm a little worried for you, Robbo, because you've let your co-driver behind the wheel for the start of the race. Is he going to leave a car for you for when you get into it?
Mate, he's doing a magnificent job.
Noons. He's pressing on. This is all a part of the plan. And we know that the real racing isn't won and done until the last hour. So we've still got around 45 minutes before it gets real.
Now, Van Leeuwen has done a bit of racing in his time, State Series Formula Ford stuff. He's racing out of Western Australia tonight. He's 36th on my timing screen here at the moment. What are you going to have to do to get yourself back in the game here? Look at the seriousness. Look at him really work the wheel across the top of the mountain. He is on the line, and I don't want to put him off here. You've heard everything we've said, Van Leeuwen. Now you've got to back it up. How are you travelling? Yeah, top of the hill. This is the best place to talk to anyone.
I've got some in a blue car right on my backside.
Michael, have you got some advice for your co-driver here, because you're far more qualified than I?
No, look, he's doing a good job. Just keep him behind you. That's the aim of the game here. It's great.
Oh!
Make the car a bit thinner in the straight lines. That's very smart thinking there, mate. Very smart.
Yeah, this is how well we're going. I had a bit of a skirmish in the first couple of laps with someone trying to let him through, and Bruce is going, how's your straight line speed? I'm going, I don't know. What's it meant to be doing, mate? That's literally how out of my depth I am. But hey, we're having.
Robbo, do you reckon that AVL is going to write his own race report on motorsport.com at the end of this?
Well, that's what he's paid to do.
That's why I cracked. I'll take a note.
While you're driving, good idea, mate. Nah, just keep it. Yeah, grab that curb. That's the one. Keep it straight, mate. We're long way to go. I'm sensing safety cars at the moment. I'm sensing there will be one very soon. The people would love to see it.
You'd love to see it because you need to catch up.
Yeah, well, if the race director, if he had control of this thing, he'd be calling. Because I've seen Debris everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Your eagle eye vision has seen this, has it?
I'm not touching that one.
Does this feel strange, Caruso, though, mate? You're sharing a car in a virtual race at Bathurst with the guy who's on the other side of the country. I bet you thought you'd never do this ever in your motor racing career.
No, it's definitely, it's something new, but like I've always grown up with the idea of you've got to try everything at least once, and I'm ticking boxes tonight.
You are. At the moment, it's the 36th box you're ticking. You need to tick a few more, but just stay on that lead lap, stay in the game, buy a ticket, as our Uncle Neil would say, and you've got a long way to go.
When he started last that year.
He didn't start last. He got a flat tyre in the first lap, and he went to last.
Well, there you go.
But he was 29th. You're 36, so you could outdo the great Larry Perkins with your comeback today because you'll pass 7 more cars.
Maybe we'll be better than Larry.
Records are made to be broken, my friend. Hey, we'll get out of your ear and let you focus on how your co-driver's pedaling.
See you, mate.
All right. John at Racecraft in Perth, he's helped me out massively here with this.
All the gear and some idea, AVL?
Yeah, no, none of the idea, just all the gear.
We'll get out of your ear. Keep pedaling. Good job.
See you, boys.
Got a feeling, Noons, that's the one that's down by the Perth airport. A few of the guys in Perth have been racing that the past couple of weeks as well.
Having a look here, Matt, at Ben Gomersall in the unit car, sharing with his dad Jason and the... Oh, there they are. There are the Gomersalls. Ben behind the wheel as we join him. And he has a huge slide. Picks it up on the exit. That was good at Murray's Corner. He got away with it. He loses a spot, though, on the run across the line to Aaron Seaton. But nevertheless, that car's still on the road. It could have very easily been facing in the wrong direction, as Seaton now is in a bit of a rumble match on the way out of turn 1 up the hill. In fact, I'm just looking through our timing screen here to see who's where. Oh boy, this is wild. Riding alongside the 48, the Dean O'Brien, Dylan Shepherd car. And this is going to be pretty tight, I reckon, once they get to turn 2.
It's a good recovery for young Ben, who had that wild moment at Murray's. These guys just outside the top 30 at the moment. That's Jason Gomersall, left-hand side with the hand on the chin. He'll suit up later on and take control of the unit car. It's towards the cutting we go. And working the 7th lap of this race right now.
Still, would you believe, for all of the things we've said, all of the people we've talked to, Matt, we haven't even gone through 20 minutes of this 2-hour race. There is still a long way to go. Stay on the lead lap and keep yourself in the game is the aim of the game at the moment as we watch Ben Gomersall across the top of the hill. Of course, his dad Jason, a very much regular in Touring Car Masters with a few different Tiranas over the years and heavily involved in the Matt Stone racing operation up there in Queensland as his young bloke tumbles his way across the top of the mountain and keeps this pressure on the car up in front as they tumble their way back down the mountain. Love this part of the track with these little Audi touring cars. They're in their element, across the top of the hill where they make plenty of speed, and now it's on a conrod to use all that they can muster out of that 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. A little bit of a chance to have a break, stretch the fingers, stretch the legs as they roll on towards the chase. We should point out too that they will need fuel a few times in this race, Matt, because they're running with a 38-litre virtual tank in these cars, so they will need fuel. Then it's a case of what tyre strategies do they employ, but you'd have to say that changing all four at every available opportunity is going to be the best bet. Tom Randall here, 7th position in the ACT Fence Hire car. He's at the moment holding off Justin Rougier in the number 12 car, James Golding in the 31 Valvoline machine. Next there is Randall in car 49. Of course, he's driving tonight with Lockie Hughes, the Formula 4 and Carter, Formula 4 driver and Carter, I should say, as they work their way up through the cutting, tail end of the top 10, very much in the game, 10 seconds away from the lead of the race at the moment.
And while we were chatting to some of the drivers just before, the 29 car got a drive-through penalty. That's Nathan Hearn and Cody Bircher. They've dropped right down the order outside the top 30 at the moment. So with 1 hour, 39 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, you're watching Tom Randall across the top of McPhillamy Park here at Mount Panorama. The final round of the Carsales eSports Cup for 2020. It's been going for the past 2 months and a couple of weeks. And I dare say we'll do another instalment in the future as down through the nipple we go.
Keeping an eye on Tom Randall, who of course we've seen in S5000 last year, and in the Super 2 series he's certainly been a front runner as he works his way on a Conrod straight. Matt can't wait to see S5000 back on track. Of course, in recent times, calendars confirmed for ARG's category. Sydney Motorsport Park mid-August will be where things kick off. And speak of the devil, he's on my screen and he's I'm in his ear at the moment. Tom Randall. I never like to talk to people when they're flat strap at 240 into the chase, but I will. How are you travelling?
Yeah, pretty good actually. We started 18th and we're up to 7th, so it's been quite a smooth start to a race. So we're catching the car in front, so it hasn't been nearly as eventful as the races the last couple of rounds. So see how we go.
The great thing about this virtual racing is that your co-driver is able to join us on the line. I reckon if the gods of virtual racing and communication have joined us, Lockie Hughes is with us. You there, Lockie?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Good to have you. Give us your critique of how your lead driver's going here, because he's very focused at the moment. I'm watching him on his camera. The eyes are on, and he's defending from Justin Rougier with James Golding lined up behind. But what's your take out of 10 at the moment? What's his score?
Oh, it's very impressive at the moment. He's come from P18 to be P7 at the moment, doing an awesome job. My spotting's been pretty well so far, so I take credit. But he's doing an awesome job, and yeah, just got to try to keep Justin behind.
Whereabouts are you racing from tonight, mate?
I'm racing from my home on the Gold Coast, so yeah, got a sim at home, and yeah, it's good.
Now, what's the strategy here? Is the plan to get you in for at the first pit stop and try to work it so Tom finishes things off, or how have you even planned any of this, or are you just going to make it up as you go?
Oh, we haven't had a solid plan for say, but yeah, I think at the moment I'll probably jump in at the next pit stop, and yeah, see, I'd say Tom will probably be finishing the race. I'm not too sure. I guess all I know is I'm probably jumping in next stop.
You do what the boss tells you to do. That's the way to get
But
anywhere
who's
in
the
motor
boss?
racing, my friend.
But who's the boss, Noonesy? You're the
Well,
boss, aren't you?
No. You're the boss. You've got the sim company. You're the one behind the wheel. And on my entry list, you are driver, and Lockie is co-driver. Therefore, you're the boss.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate that.
Hey, last time you were at Bathurst, I seem to recall you ended up with a big trophy at the 250k Super 2 race. So, no pressure, mate.
Well, I don't actually have that trophy, and I've just ran wide, so now the race is starting to heat up.
Oh, hello.
Commentator's curse here.
Thank you. It's a
memory.
It's a skill.
Oh,
All
close.
right, we'll let him get back to it. Hey, boys, good to chat. All the best for the rest of this race.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, mate.
There they are, Tom Randall and Lockie Hughes at the moment. Poor Tom is, Matt, really having to fight off. Justin Rougier shows the nose at turn 1, grabbing 7th spot, but Tom is back down the inside and switches back for the run up Mountain Straight.
Good move, and that keeps him moving now, but it's a 4-car battle, potentially 5 for the battle inside the top 10 as we work the 11th lap of this race. Getting closer, not at the moment, closer to the first pit stop window. As everybody moves out, tries to find a way to make a pass before we get to the top. And this time, no access there on the way through Griffins by James Golding. Sits behind Randall as his guys climb the shelf and towards the cutting. Here we go again.
This is a good fight pack. They are 7th to 11th. Brock Feeney and Garth Tander are at the tail of the queue, climbing the mountain as we approach the 30-minute mark of this 2-hour endurance race. We've completed 10 laps of Mount Panorama on lap 11 at the moment. James Golding, top of the hill in the number 31 Valvoline machine, sharing with Brad Newman, who is his housemate and a Bathurst local. So I dare say Brad's turned plenty of laps at all hours of the day around the real Mount Panorama circuit as they drop off the run across Skyline and down the hill. Justin Rougier in behind. Brock Feeney, Garth Tander. There's some very handy names here who've cut plenty of laps of the mountain. We're having a look at James Golding at the moment. Of course, we'll see James in S5000 this year with GRM. He's done a couple of years in Supercars main game and Super 2. And the open wheelers, he really adapted well in the couple of events that we had last year at Sandown and the Ben Motorsport Park, and he's hunting the toe here from Tom Randall on the run to the chase.
This is cool to watch. Good to see him in corporate wear tonight too. One of the best liveried cars we got in the field, and we'll try the outside here of Randall, who covers him off nicely, but it might be the switchback when they go through the chase here. Spicy battle, we've used that word a couple of times during this, with still an hour and a half to go. These guys inside the top 10, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. And now the door's left open for Golding down at Murray's Corner. Can he pull it up and make the move? They'll go side by side. Great battle here in the early stages of this race.
I've got a feeling, Matthew, something is going to happen. Something's going to happen. Oh, I didn't say it was going to be good either. Golding's got the spot, and behind, look at that. Brock Feeney slices through on Justin Rougier to pick up a spot.
Look at the back of this pack.
Yeah, they're in the zone here. These guys are actually, they're about 12 seconds away from our leader, Ash Sutton. Sutton, Haver, O'Keefe, Ransley and Preston are the top 5 that have broken away.
It's at 75, the Melbourne Performance Centre car sneaking into the shot now. Garth Tander, 11th position. He'll be the 5th car to join this party. It's through Griffins they go again. Golding now ahead of Randall. Tucked in behind is Brock Feeney, Rougier and Tander. Love this shot of the cars going up through the cutting. Shows the elevation of this incredible piece of racetrack at Mount Panorama in Bathurst. They cross the shelf. Sutton's lead is still only half a second. It's been like that for a while now. So the front guys not breaking away. First, second and third noons covered by just under 0.8 of a second.
And that's the thing here. I'm watching the timing screen, Matt, watching these fights. And you know what? This is like watching the first hour of a Bathurst 1000.
Yeah.
Who remembers the first hour unless something wild happens? You only really remember who fell out of the race, not who drove around and stayed in the race. It's all about that last run home, and that won't be any different tonight. That last 20-minute dash to the checkered flag, but the elbows will come out a little later on. Right now, you can keep them tucked in as Brock Feeney works his way across the top. Driving car 777 with Declan Fraser. Of course, Brock, hasn't he really made a name for himself with Tickford this year in Super 2 and the Super 3 champ with Paul Morris last year and a winner in Toyota 86. He's a young guy who is going places and right now sits P9 on the run down Conrod as we approach the 30-minute mark, quarter race distance of this 2-hour, 10th and final round of the carsales ARG eSport Cup.
Golding just gets a bit of a margin now on Randall, who's fallen back towards Feeney, and Ruggiero just sitting behind the man in black on the way down to Murray's. So Randall makes Feeney work real hard for us. He's teaming up with Declan Fraser, the man from Mackay, the Red Hot Courier-sponsored car. This might be the invitation for Ruggiero. We look back at Feeney on their way down to start another lap here. Just over an hour and a half remains in this 2-hour endurance race. Into Hell Corner we go.
The run up Mountain Straight again. Sutton continues to lead the way at the front of the pack, Matt. Haver, O'Keefe, Ransley, Preston, that's your top 5. As they sit at the moment, Files, Golding next, and then this crew, Randall, Feeney, Rouget and Tander. Matt Simmons runs in 12th spot in car 27. Blake Purdy is next with Ben McMillan. Let's have a chat to some guys who are physically sharing the same sim tonight. Not everyone is doing that in the field. Stephen and Jet Johnson in the 17 machine. How are things travelling up there in Queensland, boys?
Hello, Noons. Yeah, we're cruising along just nicely. I'm just weaning myself into what I was doing last year with Jet's Hyundai Enduro that I shared with him, and just get through the first part and bring it home for him so he can do the rest of the race.
So are you going to get all of your driving time out of the way in one hit, or are you going to jump in a little bit later on? What's the strategy here at Team Johnson?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah, totally.
Mate, I'm going to get mine done, get out and have a beer and watch him.
At least you're honest.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Give him as much as he can have. I'll do my 50 minutes and get him to do the rest.
Hey, one thing that we're really excited about, TCM coming back to the racetracks when we go racing again, that XD Falcon of yours that made its debut at the Superloop Adelaide 500, you must be champing at the bit to get that car back on track, iron out the bugs and run it up the front.
Mate, we are. It's been a long time, and we just got the engine back after getting a few things sorted out today, actually. So we're excited to get the car back together, and hopefully in the next week or so we can get the XD out and do a couple of test days before we head to Eastern Creek in August. So really excited, and can't wait to get it back out and iron out a few of the little issues that we had at Adelaide.
How are you travelling here at the moment? I think you're Oh, I'm just waiting for the timing screen to refresh. Are you playing this strategy of if you're on the lead lap, you're still in the game? Is this the way to play this?
Yeah, well, obviously I gave him a few practice laps before the race, and I just jumped on literally 11 minutes before qualifying. So I did maybe 2 laps and qualified terrible as usual. But we made our way up from, I think it was high 30s or early 40s up to in the mid-20s, and then I got stuck in a little bit of traffic, so I thought, you know what, let's do something different than everybody else. Let's pit, get one out of the way, get some fuel in, and chuck a set of front tyres on the thing and get some clear air and see what we can do.
No, a little bit of strategy.
Yeah.
I like this. You've played this game before at Bathurst, have you not?
Oh, we have a couple of times, and the funny thing is we've got the little junior burger in my ears in the other room telling me what to do and where to go, and I think he's learning a little bit along the way as well, which is really cool and good to him to see that driving and winning races is not just about getting in and steering. It's about so many other variables that you got to undertake and do perfectly to make sure you do well.
Well, he's on the line. Jet, how does Dad take your advice and your spotting and what you tell him to do? Is he coping with it?
He mainly just tells me to be quiet, but times when he's got cars up next to him, it's useful. But apart from that, I just sort of keep quiet.
Have you found that that's the best way to deal with him? Does he get that race driver rage going on?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's unfair.
It's good
He
telling
can hear you, remember?
Yeah, but it's good. It's good trying to figure out the strategy, and Dad helping me with it all. Like when he was caught up in traffic, I was half guessing what he should do, but then he told me to think about it and explain sort of what he should do and why he should do it, so that it's good. I'm learning sort of strategy and all that as well, so that's good.
Guys, we better jump out of it. We've got some drama going on for the lead of the race.
No
Our
worries.
series leader,
No
Harley
worries.
Haber. Have a good one, Steve. Harley Haber has had contact with Ash Sutton at the chase at the fastest part of the Mount Panorama circuit. And now Sutton takes a pit stop, Matt Nolte. That was brewing, and it all blew up just as we were talking to Jet Johnson as the leader now pits, and Harley Haber inherits the lead on the track. But let's keep an eye on that Kumho Tyre 21 car and see if there's any damage that will affect our series leader as we've clicked past quarter race distance with 1 hour and 26 on the clock.
Certainly some marks down the Sutton car. Here's a total replay coming down Conrod. We caught this just as unfolding. I'm in shock that we didn't have more damage out of this. So watch the front two cars, Haber and Sutton. Sutton pulls out to make the move on the outside here. Tried to clear him off.
Boy.
And
Oh,
contact.
boy.
Great recovery from both when you think about it. That was incredible.
I'm surprised both of them are not off the road, but that's why they've been two of the front runners in the carsales ARG eSport Cup. Oh boy, wild, willing, could have been disastrous. They've got away with it, but Ransley, the series contender, is now in second place as Jake Blackhall takes over the Panther Fuel 116. He's got some clear road as he works his way up Mountain Straight to play with, and can at least now settle in without any cars around him.
We also saw Ben McMillan in the pits as well while you were talking to Team Johnson just a few moments ago. So they've done their pit stop and are now in 21st position. Jay Hansen, the Ash Seawood Motorsport entry, comes back out in the circuit. So we're inside that bit of a window with the first real talking point of this race. The two front guys coming together on their way into the chase in the scariest moments so far in this 2-hour race.
Let's have a chat to one of the guys who was involved in that wild moment, Ash Sutton. Whoa, that was big, but you both got away with it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what was going on, if I'm honest. Obviously, Harley was over on the sort of 3/4 of the way over to the right, and I put myself right over to the left to open the King Cup, and he just worked his way over into the rear quarter. So I'm not quite sure what was going on, but yeah, main thing is we stayed out the wall, so it was a bit hairy.
For our Trans-Tasman viewers, tell us a bit about your co-driver, Jake Blackhall.
Yeah, so I've worked closely with Jake for a long period of time. He's actually supported me every single race. It only seemed right to give him a shot in the car. He actually races for my team that we've our eSports team, if that makes sense. So he's a close friend, and he's come over to the UK a couple of times to watch me race as well. So it sort of kind of fits.
Well, we've got it all going on because the other leading cars are all in the pit lane now. Ransley, Haber and O'Keefe are taking their stops. So watching on with interest if the undercut works here by pitting that one lap earlier.
Yeah, look, obviously we come in the lead, but it was a bit touch and go whether we were going to make it on the field. So we played the safe game. But yeah, Jake's up to 10th, so he should be pretty good to go straight away. And hopefully we don't get jumped, but we can have a solid stint now.
All right, mate. We'll let you sit back, relax, and get ready for your next stint.
Cheers, boys.
There he is, Ash Sutton, the driver of the Panther Fuel 116. We're watching his co-driver, Jake Blackhall, at the moment. Come around, Matt, to run on a pit straight. Let's see where he is in comparison to the Kumho Tyre car, to the Track Tech car, and to the GRM 33 car as he swings his way through turn one, starts to climb up Mountain Straight, and there they are, just pulling out of pit lane. They're further down the road than 116 when that all occurred before they pitted. And I reckon there might have been a two-tyre stop we're hearing for O'Keefe and Haber, and that's clearly helped them in terms of where they've popped out.
Massively. It's given about 3 seconds for Blackhall to chase now as he climbs towards Griffin's Bend here. Lap 16 of this race. I'm still getting by what happened in the chase there and how we didn't have those two guys out of this race. But Preston now goes into the lead from Golding. Stewart, who's in the number 1 car with Will Brown, who'll be eagerly anticipating to jump into that car very, very soon. We look at Jason Gomersall now behind the wheel of the 35, the unit clothing entry. So he swapped over from young son Ben, who had his own little moment, didn't he? On the way down to Murray's Corner, he backed in the unit clothing car. So Jason jumps in and rejoins the race here with still 1 hour and 22 minutes remaining.
Jason Gomersall at the helm now of car 35, rejoining onto Mountain Straight, and they are sitting P32 at the moment. And now it's a case of driver changes, first pit stops. Gives us an idea too, Matt, of how far they can stretch the fuel. So we've done 15 laps. We've done nearly 40 minutes of racing. Riley Preston and James Golding are the two drivers not to make a stop yet. That will come now. And in fact, Preston, our leader, is in the lane. Here he is, car 89, sharing with S5000 driver Braden Wilmington, and James Golding's in too. So everybody now will have completed their first pit stop. And the way it shakes out, car number 1, Job Stewart, in the car he's sharing with Will Brown, is the new race leader. Remember, they stopped very, very, very early, and they've worked their way up now through the order to be in this position. Tony D'Alberto, car 50, sharing with Fabian Coulthard, and they are fighting back after Tony ended up in the wall a little earlier on through the chase, managed to not be able to avoid a car that bounced off a wall. They're 38th at the moment, with a long way to fight back in this one.
So it works out to about, 2.5 litres, I'm doing at the top of my head here, a lap that they're using. If you're looking to 16 laps to stretch it right out. And what's that, 40 minutes? Nearly 41 minutes?
Yeah, give or take 30-odd seconds, depending on where the clock is and where you are in the lap. So we'll keep an eye on that, because if you add it up and you go, well, there's 40 minutes, well, you're going to need to run your driver for a bit longer there, because 50 minutes is the minimum for the drivers.
And the shorter stop this time.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting element. We'll see how that all plays out as we have a look here at Ben Bargwanna, Jason Bargwanna, car 117, sitting 15th with, and I'm hearing it's Jason at the helm. We'll know when we see the camera for sure, but
the high vis is off.
Oh, he had the high vis jumper on earlier, but clearly getting a bit too warm. It's heating up the action at Mount Panorama, the Bathurst 1000 champ of 2000, and have a look behind. It's getting willing as they fight over the spots. Jay Hansen, car 2, Chelsea Angelo's car. Actually, Chelsea's on the line. How are you going, Chelsea?
I'm good, Noons. How are you going?
We're going great guns. How's that Astron Tech number 2 car going? It's sitting P17 at the moment, and it's
Oh God, I'm not in the car. My teammate's in the car, so I'm just watching it at the moment while I'm having some dinner. Oh God. But yeah, no, he's going really good. I've just told him to keep it consistent because I want a decent result.
Gee, you sound like a bossy main driver.
No, I swear to God I'm not. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you can call me a bossy driver, but anyway.
For those who don't know, who's your co-driver?
Darren Whittington. So he's been running with me in the XL Cup Series in the online world and also in real life. So I actually had Sam Stratton from HMO come on board, but then he was like, oh no, the Sims, carked itself, can't do it. So I was scrambling to find a driver this morning, and then luckily Darren was available tonight.
Well, Darren's been involved in a bit of a scrap there across the top of the mountain. He
Yeah, I
and
know,
Jay
I'm
Hansen got
watching
together
it.
there.
Oh my God! Oh no! Darren!
You don't make a good spectator here, Chelsea.
Oh no, I know. I just get so nervous when someone else is driving my car, that's all.
If this is what goes on in virtual world, I'd hate to see you in a real-life TCR Enduro.
Oh no, yeah, I know. I'd probably be shitting myself.
Chelsea, we're leaving this interview now. We'll chat to you later.
All right, thanks, Noons.
There's Chelsea Angelo driving car 2, the Astron Tech machine. And
Gotta
at
get
the
a
moment,
wide
it
up
sits-
later in the year.
Yeah, sits in 16th spot. We'll have to be ready with the button next time, Matthew.
It's her birthday. Maybe she's still celebrating her birthday from the other day. To go back to the shots at the top of the cutting, James Golding, who's running behind this group of cars headed by the 75 of Garth Tander, teaming up with Shane Van Gisbergen. These guys yet to hit. Now they have pitted now, so it should be SVG behind the wheel of the 75. 1 hour 17 with Preston still yet to pit. Ahead of Stewart, Haber, Files, O'Keefe. That's the top 5.
Brad Newman's behind the wheel now of the James Golding car. Across the top of the hill, Valvoline 31. I reckon that's a great looking livery. Of course, Valvoline's so much history with Gary Rogers Motorsport and so many young drivers who have come through that team over the years. And of course, Brad Newman is a Bathurst racer. He lives in Melbourne now. He's housemates with James Golding, but has done plenty of racing of his own. But they are one of the combinations tonight. Okay, hang on. I paused because I'm hearing from race control, Matt. This could be interesting. There is a bit of an investigation going on into the contact between Ash Sutton and Harley Haber at the chase. This could have a very interesting effect on tonight's race. We'll keep you updated with any outcomes or any results or penalties.
So it puts the 21 car in third position, and Blackhall is behind the wheel of the 116. The Panther Fuels car runs in seventh position. It's going to change of position, perhaps more contact now. Noon's going through the chase, and we know what it's like when a car's off in the gravel here, across the top, a la Rick Kelly style from back in 2007, and into the wall.
Couldn't get it out the other side. Yep, the Tander Van Gisbergen car could not get it to straighten up on the exit and work its way across the grass. So it's been in the fence and manages to get going. It is GT at the wheel. He will resume now in 13th place. The question is, what's the damage like on that number 75 car? He is racing again tonight from the Melbourne Performance Centre, where I'm commentating from tonight here in the outer suburbs of Melbourne. And it's a case now of trying to get some rhythm back and get some time back. He is in 13th and now 35 seconds away from the leader of the race.
Might have just got away with it too. He'll push on. The JMac Racing prepared entry. On his way up, just gives the neck a scratch and focuses on the job at hand here as he climbs the mountain once again. Lap 19. So we're hearing no further action, Noons, on that incident between Haber and Sutton coming through from race control. So note that one down.
Okay, well, we're hearing there's a warning for car 21, but that is, there's no penalty. There's nothing else brewing. So interesting times as we fight for the series and for the victory. Tander is on screen at the moment. If you've just joined us, he's racing with Shane Van Gisbergen tonight. Shane is at home. He's Australian, based in Queensland. Of course, New Zealand is home, but he's flown back. He's in his 14-day quarantine at the moment. And Garth said earlier that Shane hadn't done his pre-race strategy in terms of his dinner correctly. So right now, SVG will be chowing down to get ready to jump back behind the wheel a bit later on.
What is on the menu tonight, Noons, by the way?
I'm not sure, but it's the question I want to ask every driver. I wonder if Fabian Coulthard's Uber Eats has turned up yet.
He's still scrambling, finding something open there on the Gold Coast tonight by the sound of it. Tander down through the dipper we go. 1 hour and 13 minutes roughly remaining in this race. It's had a bit of everything so far. First round of pit stops are in the books. Riley Preston leads by just under half a second back to Job Stewart. Go back to O'Keefe and Haber.
Oh, this is a drama, Matt. That car's running slowly. It's been involved in an incident in the background. It looked like with Dylan O'Keefe. Ransley's off the road. So the two series contenders have been involved. Look at all those black marks.
Yeah.
I think they're O'Keefe's. Something's going on. Total replay will tell more. Ransley damage to the left front of the Track Tech 47 car. Let's have a look. This will unearth what's happened. Haber leading on the rundown Conrod. O'Keefe's car behind. And then Ransley. Oh, it's feeling a bit carbon copy-like as they break for the chase. Now Ransley with his nose down inside. A little bit of a rub on the back of O'Keefe. More of a rub. Ransley gets involved. Haber manages to press on, but interesting times. Job Stewart now is in pit lane in car number 1, the car he shares with Will Brown. Race control have some interesting things to look at tonight. They are not going to get it easy. We haven't even reached halfway. Total replay shows it on board with Ransley. This will give us a bird's eye view with the young Kiwi. And you can just see here, O'Keefe was in deep. Haber made a little bit of contact. Ransley was innocent. He was running to the left and that car speared across into him. He did nothing wrong there. He was trying to stay clear of those two, and he's ended up with probably more damage than any of the other cars.
And there was left rear damage on the O'Keefe car as well. He stays in 4th position, so Ransley will keep an eye on that 47, the Track Tech Racing entry, as he works his way through McPhillamy Park. So race control had a fairly quiet start to the race, but as we approach the second hour of it, it's going to get very busy in that room of doom next door to you.
That's one way to describe it. Here is Ransley. He's sitting in position 8 at the moment. Riley Preston is our race leader in the car that he shares with Braden Wilmington. Josh Files second, Harley Haber third, O'Keefe and Blackhall next, Feeney, Golding, Ransley, Lockie Hughes in the Tom Randall car next, and Luca Giacomin in the Aaron Cameron Belvaline car rounds out the top 10. And here is a fight between O'Keefe and Blackhall for 4th and 5th place. But the series contenders, well, Harley Haber's been in a bit of interesting stuff tonight. We haven't even got to the halfway mark of this 2-hour race. And you can see the Kumo tyre car there just up in front, putting a move on Josh Files for 2nd spot, but Files is back down the inside. The good old over and under trick, and the run up Mountain Straight sees him with too much speed and too much momentum that he'll carry all the way up the hill to grab that spot back.
It's a bit of news coming from race control in a few moments' time.
Oh, big news, Matt. This could change the championship. Car 21, Harley Haber, pit lane penalty. That really changes the game. Let's see what he can do on the fight back trail. Let's have a chat to Shane Van Gisbergen on the Gold Coast. SVG, Aaron Noonan here, mate. Great to have you in the race tonight, but it hasn't quite panned out how you wanted it to in car 75.
Hello. What do you mean? It's going pretty good.
Well, I saw the car the car was in the wall earlier on.
Oh yeah, but that's computer racing. We can pit in 5 laps to get a new one, so it's all good, man.
It's a cheaper way to play it, isn't it? You've been busy with the E-Series stuff with supercars. You're back in the Gold Coast now. How many days into this 14-day quarantine are you now?
Oh, mate, I don't even want to know. I'm trying not to think about it, but it is good to be home. Super lucky to be able to do it at my house. But yeah, it was sad to leave New Zealand. I had a mega 3 months there, so 2.5 months, whatever it was. But yeah, back in Oz, ready for some racing soon.
Hey, the other thing too is everybody in ISO that I know of that's capable has been growing beards, but yours seems to have disappeared. What's going on?
Oh no, I had a good one, but I thought I'd better tidy up for the E-Series. I finally got a camera going and stuff, and I left my bloody clipper hat on at my folks' place, so I only had the number 1 or to leave it like a bush, so I thought I'd tidy it up a bit.
What's the plan here? You going to jump back behind the wheel at the next stop?
Yeah, I think so. The car's pretty wrecked thanks to Garth just crashing, but so I think we'll do a stop soonish, and then I'll go to the end. But I think we missed a trick there. Everyone, a lot of people didn't take tyres, and they did quicker pit stops, so we might skip some tyres and see how that goes.
We heard that there was a few people who went for the 2-tyre first stop, so it might be something to look into.
Yeah, well, Garth's the main driver this race, so he gets all the good tyres. I'll get left with the dregs, but that's okay. We'll have a go.
Don't worry, that'll change come October when you head back to the mountain. Good to catch up, and we'll have a chat to you a bit later on, hey?
All right, cheers, guys.
There is Shane Van Gisbergen, the 2016 Supercars champ, as Harley Haber takes his pit lane penalty. Speak of car 75 and Garth Tander, he is now in the lane, so penalty has been taken by our series points leader, and Matt, oh boy, that changes the game in terms of things for Jaden Ransley. My big question though for Ransley is how badly damaged is his car, and can he fight his way back up through the order here? Haber's rejoined in P6, and I've got a funny feeling, yes, there is the Ransley car, and Andre Heimgartner now in pit lane.
I won't put you on the spot yet when it comes to the point scenario. We might play it for another 30 minutes before.
Oh, no, I can tell you all the numbers, but right now it doesn't really mean anything because we've got an hour 7 to go.
Exactly. So we just saw Golding and Blackhall just a few moments ago. This is Aaron Seaton running car number 8 at the moment, down in 14th position with Jay Hansen. The Harris Racing entry coming through to complete a lap as we start to enter the second round of pit stops. And 53 minutes of racing have elapsed. Riley Preston has 11 seconds back to O'Keefe. Blackhall is next. We go back to Golding, Feeney, Haber, Giacomin, Hughes, McMillan, who pitted first a long time ago. Feels like at least 30 minutes. They'll be almost due for their second stop. And the top 10 completed by Owen at the moment. Still a long way to play out.
Having a look here at the number 8 car, the fluoro yellow car of Aaron Seaton, the Trans Am driver, leads the series points after that first round in Adelaide. He's teaming up tonight with Ed Williams, who works at DJR Team Penske. He's a data engineer there. And little fact for you, Matt,
Please.
Ed was the guy that was put behind the wheel of the Mustang during the recent VCAT testing over the off-season in supercars. He was the guy spending some time behind the wheel for those straight line tests that they were doing. And of course, Aaron has done a fair bit of that work in his time at DJR Penske as well. So these two guys know one another from working at the race team, and they're pairing up tonight in that number 8 car. And at the moment they sit just outside the top 20 as we see Dylan O'Keefe from second place in for his second pit stop.
They'll put Blackhall up into second position now, so O'Keefe comes in. Good news during the week, of course, the Trans Am's announcing a 100-kilometre race supporting the Bathurst International race later this year at Bathurst. That is going to be very cool. If you haven't seen the Trans Am's in real life, folks, they are incredibly loud, incredibly unpredictable, and just cool cars. And great to see them in this country, and they'll be on the mountain in mid-November as part of carsales TCR Australia.
Looking here, Ben McMillan and Scott McLaughlin. I think it's Scotty at the wheel at the moment, is it not, in the Pace 39 car? No, it's Ben at the wheel, we're being told. So he's currently 8th at the moment, and they're in the game here, 32 seconds away from the lead of the race, approaching halfway, Matt. Hour 5 left on the clock. And as you mentioned, you talked about points. 100 points for the winner of tonight's race. And then it drops by 8, 92 for second. Then it drops to 88, 84, 80, 76, and onwards down in 4-point increments. So that's something to bear in mind. There are points all the way to the tail of the field as we look here at Jason Barguana at the helm of 117, the Burson Auto Parts. I'll try to say that again. Oh, contact there with he and Jay Hansen on the run up the mountain at turn 2. Managed to get away with it. Opens the door for Bart Moore to work his way through. But there is plenty of cars out there that need some virtual wipe downs. There's some serious bug splattering going on around Mount Panorama this evening. And you can see it.
Sorry, mate, go on.
No, I was going to say, look at Barguana's car. It is very, very dirty. Safety car is being called, Matt, nearly halfway through this race. Our first safety car of the final round of the series. And now Riley Preston, the race leader, is on his way out of the chase. He's got one pit stop in the books, but don't forget, it wasn't that long ago.
No.
It was, 6 laps ago, lap 16. And now with the safety car out, the pits are closed. So they must stay on the road, line up, and that margin of, well, it's about 11 seconds he had over Jake Blackhall will be reduced to 0. So this now gives us a couple of laps to draw breath. The pit stop capability will be there because the pit lane will open a little later on once they've all got themselves sorted out. But it's Riley Preston who leads the way, sharing with Braden Wilmington, and he's got a long time to wait for the rest of the field because he had a pretty handy margin over Jake Blackhall. There's Jake in the Panther Fuel 116 car. And now it's a case of lining on up. Our points leader, Harley Haber, despite that penalty, still sits in P5. And his main title rival, the 47 car of Jaden Ransley with Andre Heimgartner at the helm, is position 23. So even despite a penalty, the Kumo tyre car is still in a good position.
Now, hadn't that rule applied where the pits are shut when the safety car is called, that would have played right into the 89's hands. He's teaming up with Braden Wilmington. As Harley Haber, the man who eyes off the E-Series crown here tonight, has had that pit lane penalty, but that brings him back into the grand scheme of things. We get into the second half of this race, and the first safety car. I've got to say, Noons, I was expecting a lot more than what we've had. Safety cars, that is.
Well, we will see if safety cars breed safety cars. It is the famous scenario.
Battle-weary number 21, the Kumo tyre entry of Haber, runs in 5th position behind Brock Feeney, who's teaming up with Declan Fraser. They've had experience in Toyota 86 competition as well over the last couple of years. Preston, your leader in car 89, Blackhall second. So actually start to drive that car in the first stint of the race. At the moment, ahead of this guy, at the back of this queue.
Matt.
Go for it, mate.
Sorry, mate. Sorry to dive in. Riley Preston, am I right in remembering he started the race in the Wilmington car?
Yes.
So right now, he's been in that car for nearly an hour.
Yeah.
Braden Wilmington must do minimum 50 minutes. So he's got to get out at least before an hour 10. And we're currently with an elapsed time of we've got 59 minutes in the books. We've got an hour and 1 minute to go. So he doesn't have a heap of time here. So it could very well be that by the time this safety car period finishes, he might get one green lap and then he's got to come in and get out.
Because he wouldn't do it now, would he? There's no way.
Well, no, and the wave around is in play here too, by the way. So that's why you see some cars taking off down Conrod. So, and remember that what we learnt earlier on in the night for the first stint of the race, the furthest that anyone went was 16 laps, 40 minutes of racing. And of course, that was all green flag running. We didn't have a safety car up until this current one that we're in. So gives us the scenario that for the 89 car, it has to pit from a driving point of view in the next 10 minutes. But of course, they can't get home on fuel from that point unless they drive very slowly in top gear. Of course, that means they're not winning the race. Pit lane we hear is now open for anybody who wants to dive on in. And if you're Preston, you got to take it now. You can't go and take it under green. You'll lose too much time, I would have thought.
And the time will be ahead. If they've got wave arounds, there's at least another lap in this. So expect that familiar green 89 to peel away. He's on that side of the circuit to zip in, or is he going to go? Now he goes in.
There he goes, and they follow. Blakehall's in. Blackhall, I should say. Golding, Feeney, Haber, Giacomin. The top cars are all filing on into pit lane, and it is a Congo line circus on the pit lane entry road here at Mount Panorama. The poor safety car is a loner. It's a case of who stays out to pick up the lead. And there is, there's Brett Holdsworth there in the TTM Group car. Will Brown is in car 1. And I think that car that's been waved through is the Michael Caruso, Andrew Van Leeuwen car, as some of the lap cars get the wave around. And there is the driver change. Stephen Johnson out, Jet Johnson in. They'll readjust the pedals.
The real life driver change.
It really is. They've got to do a little readjustment here because, of course, Stevie's a fair bit taller, although Jet for a young bloke is pretty tall. And they'll just readjust the pedals so he's in nice and snug and comfy to resume behind the safety car. Brett Holdsworth is now the leader of the race in the 99 car. He's sharing with Lachlan Manif, who has been a wild card in this series in previous rounds, the young Formula 4 driver. Jet Johnson now resuming in the 17 True Blue. There's a great shot of a bunch of our drivers tonight where they're racing. Top left, you've got Nathan Hearn. Next to him is Michael Caruso. His co-driver, Andrew Van Leeuwen's alongside, who, of course, has now stopped driving.
He hasn't stopped laughing the whole race.
No, he hasn't. Tony D'Alberto's next. Top right is Rob James, who actually works at Motorsport Australia with driving with Motum's James Owen. Second line, you've got Jaden Ransley there, the young Kiwi, who's not currently behind the wheel. James Golding's camera with Brad Newman at the helm. Tom Randall's next. Mike Sinclair in the car sales car with the goggles on, looking very Bane from Batman. Heimgartner next. He's easy giveaway with the Ned backdrop. The fabulous one, Fabian Coulthard, is now behind the wheel of the number 50 car because you can see Tony D's getting out of his sim, so Fabian's at the helm. Next is Jason Bargwana with running commentary there with co-driver son Ben. Next camera shot, I think, is Cam Mason. Who's sharing with Lachlan Mason. Then you've got Braden Wilmington, who's now behind the wheel of his car. Jet Johnson in the Team Johnson blue. So we're looking at the far right on the third line. Bottom line, left to right, you've got Jason Gomersall with son Ben, who's now stepped out. And bottom right is Harley Haber. Jaden Ojeda, I think, might be in there too. He's second from the right on the bottom line.
He's got the full nightclub effect going on.
Yeah, it's the darkest one in the room.
And look at Tom Randall, the way he's holding his seat. Looks like he's at the old mega boombox from back in the 80s on his shoulder seat.
The bottom line too, second from the left, that is Michael Clemente, the Worth number 15 driver. Here's Robbo. Michael Caruso is now at the helm of car 7. I got bad news, Matt. He is P40. He's at the tail of the field, but he's got a safety car and he can bring himself back into the game. Let's have a chat to his co-driver, Andrew Van Leeuwen's on the phone from Western Australia. Hey, mate, you're in the game. You're on the lead lap. You got a safety car. This could be the greatest stint you've driven at Bathurst in your life.
Myself or Lockie?
Oh, hang on a minute. They told me I had a different... no, hang on. Andrew Van Leeuwen. Yeah, Andrew's there. Tom Randall was answering your question.
The big chunk. He does that all the time on the Supercars one as well. He's always on the radio.
Vic Chungus is back, baby.
You go for it, mate. Anyway, yeah, that was probably my best Bathurst stint, I reckon. Knowing that I wasn't going to be quick at all, the plan was to not shunt, and I shunted twice. So that's not really great. But anyway, we're driving around. Caruso's at the wheel now. We're sort of another safety car would be nice, and then we should be in the game, and then you can just
Just quickly, Tom, we've got a restart now. Lockie Hughes behind the wheel of your car, P9. Well and truly in the game. Oh, in the background, there's a heavy crash. 2 cars in the fence, real big time. But thankfully, Tom, it's not your car.
Yeah, I missed that. I hope it was good, but I've been busy. Good. I've been busy eating my dinner while Lockie's been driving. But no, it's been a good stint for us. I think we kind of stuffed up at the start. I did a driver change earlier. I didn't realise that the driver change time actually adds to the pit stop. I thought it was all part of us taking fuel. So I think we're going to lose out a little bit at the end. But if there's a safety car, then we should be okay.
What's for dinner, by the way?
Oh, we've been turned.
Oh,
no.
You have.
Oh no! Commentators curse. Commentators curse.
I didn't do it. I asked.
You didn't do it. Yeah.
How your car's going?
Oh, it's not going well now. Oh dearie.
Oh, contact. Got cleaned up by the Masons on the way through. We'll leave you at your dinner in peace, my friend.
Thanks. Cheers. See ya.
That was some contact with Darren Whittington in the Chelsea Angelo Astron Tech number 2 car, Matt. And yeah, you're right. They were 9th, but the problem is
now.
they are not 9th anymore.
Just like that, inside the top 10 and spun at the top of the cutting, puts it back into 32nd.
Oh, boy.
Clemente in it now on the way down through Brock's Skyline. This will scatter the field. We caught the tail end of it. There's 2 more cars involved, and it's unfolding here on the restart lap.
I reckon that was the series leader. Was it the Kumo Tyre 21 car facing in the wrong direction? Yes, it is the series leader. Oh boy, we saw this with Andrew Fisher and Jeff Emery once upon a time. We've seen it now, and Forzan Al Nabi behind the wheel of the leading Kumo car in the series. They're cannoning into the fences everywhere. Oh boy, this changes the game. Temperature's gone up at Bathurst. Total replay. First lap on the restart, across the top, running around the outside of the Ed Williams and Aaron Seaton number 8 car. Metal great, swings in, it's okay there. McPhillamy Parker waits up and over the crest and past the Mountain Faithful. Oh, there's a car in front, that was Clemente.
Yeah.
And bang, there's the contact, rips the right front off the Kumo car, gets contact from behind, wrong place, wrong time. And look at them all scattered to try to avoid that car. And then he tries to get out of the area and only succeeds in making some serious contact. Boof! Ouch. I think, yeah, that was Jason Gomersall on the way through. And yeah, that'll sting.
Man, and now the protest screen lights up in race control. Here's the replay from inside the unit clothing entry.
He will not have a clue. Will not have a clue what hits him here. There's the car. Can't do a thing. Wham!
Even in the virtual world, that's going to virtually hurt.
I virtually flinched.
Man. Total replay showing every little incident and then some. Down through Skyline. The race continues.
And this is the fight for the lead, Matt. Top of the hill. Brett Holdsworth is the leader in 99. 199 is Cooper Webster, sharing with Josh Files tonight. Behind them is the Dylan O'Keefe 33 car, driven by Jackson Sulan-Harlow. And remember, O'Keefe still is in the series battle. He's 4th in the points. He needs Haber, Ransley and Sutton to have a shocker because he's 454 behind to try to claw his way up with only 100 points left on the table. But just when you thought that the strategy and the scenario and the storyline of this race was done, Will Brown now is in drama. Car number 1, the reigning carsales TCR Australia Series champion. He's got damage. He was running at the front. Early pit stop for car 1 had played them in the game, but he's got a drama as we see Total Replay, top of the hill. HMO customer racing car. Didn't touch the fence there. McPhillamy Park is next. He's wide. He gets it going okay off the edge, but it must all come undone here. Oh, he's just wide. Way too wide in the fence. Oh, and gets a little bump on the way through from Cody Bircher in Nathan Hearn's Gulf Western Oils car. So, yeah, they're dropping like flies, mate. There's not going to be too many cars without any damage at the end of this, by the way.
Job Stewart did a great job to get that car up inside the top 5 in the initial part of the race. Well, there's a black flag we're hearing from race control for car 6. I was just seeing on our screen a few moments ago. Cooper Webster, though, continues to lead this race as it settles down for the moment.
Yeah, he's grabbed the lead, mate. He's got it from Holdsworth, and Sulan Harlow's gone with him in the Dylan O'Keefe car. Look behind, Van Gisbergen and Tander are 4th, and then the Ransley Heimgartner car. 21, Kumo Tyre Series points leader, Harley Haber's car with Forzen El Nabi at the wheel, way back. We have to find that car on the timing screen in a place we have never found it really in this series so far. There's Simon Evans, the Kiwi in the Track Tech 148 car. I think he got turned around at turn 1, I'm hearing from our spotters. El Nabi, the series leading car, is now 35th in the race. The second place car in the series, with Heimgartner at the helm for Jaden Ransley, is position 5. The mathematics will tell you that car 47 is in the box seat now to win the series tonight.
Man, just how quickly it changes. But 49.5 minutes roughly remain of this race, with Golding inside the top 10, ahead of Glenn Serra now in the 34. Down into Skyline we go. He's wiped out a few of the names.
Well, that's Jordan. I was going to say that was Jordan Cox's car number 6 that we were looking at there. And this is the Brad Newman-driven Valvoline 31 teaming up with James Golding. Little giveaway, if you don't see the totem pole on the left with your favourite number of car, if you can see the car on your screen, have a look at the little LED light on the sides of the cars. You'll see the position that they run in. As now, Newman is trying to hold off the Jordan Cox Luke King car, which has got Sonic the Hedgehog on the bonnet there. You can see that. That's a throwback to the Sega Mega Drive days of the 90s. Heimgartner a little bit wide at the chase there. And that gives the Valvoline machine a chance to have a look, and it gives the Cox and King car a chance to get down the inside as well.
It's a case here. They're arguing, watch him move to the inside and make it 3 wide at the end of this lap.
This is willing. This is very willing.
They're still be side by side. Golding on the outside. So Heimgartner is in that 47. Remember now, 47 is leading the series. For Heimgartner, he wants the W next to his name, but needs to keep in mind that his co-driver, his teammate, is leading the series still with 48 minutes to go.
And that is what he does there. Look, he just slotted in behind. That's a percentage play there. That is absolutely what he needed to do. Doesn't need to get involved in a drama here. Cooper Webster leads 3/4 of a second to Dylan O'Keefe's co-driver, Jackson Sulan Harlow. Van Gisbergen's 3rd. Holdsworth's next. That's Brett Holdsworth, not Lee. James Golding's car with Brad Newman at the helm we're watching here. Bottom right of screen, there's Andre Heimgartner. Well, he's in there somewhere. He's in the dark. I can see his sponsor board easier than himself, but he is in there. He is steering the 47 Audi across the top of the hill. And he's sitting 7.5 seconds away from the lead of the race with 47 minutes to go on the clock. At the moment in 7th, that'll land you 72 points. Get your abacus out here, my friend Matthew. Car 21, El Nabi, sits in 34th. That'll get you 8 points. So turnaround of 64 points, margin coming into tonight 37. So we'll keep an eye on that. As it sits, Jaden Ransley's in a very good position to end up with the series overall, but as we've seen, anything can and usually will happen. I hope I have not put the curse on anybody by saying that.
He's looking for a top 20 at least here if he wants to win this championship back. 46.5 minutes to go. In car with Jordan Cox. Golding just ahead through the fast right-hand sweeper into the chase. The Ridges Hotel in the distance. A great addition to the Mount Panorama circuit over a decade ago. And now the Big V gets even closer on that Valvoline 31. Battle for 6th position here. As now Jordan Cox makes the move on the inside. Might be able to get it done here. Golding's driven so well to hold off the pace of these guys behind. And it's a slower car just ahead on the right-hand side, Noons.
And that looked to be Brett Holdsworth. That's for position. They managed to get by the 99 car, the TPS Group car. Remember that Holdsworth is racing in the Trans Am Series this year. And if you've just joined us, the drivers competing in this carsales ARG eSport Cup are all in Australian Racing Group categories. TCR Australia, TCR New Zealand, Trans Am, S5000, Touring Car Masters, V8 touring cars. This is really willing stuff. Cox sitting in behind here. Newman on board the Valvoline machine as they go by. Pretty sure that was the car sales entry of Mike Sinclair, car number 4, who of course car sales have been fantastic supporters of this concept and of the last 10 weeks of racing. Can't wait for the car sales TCR Australia series to get back underway. Sydney Motorsport Park, mid-August. Can't wait to see all of the ARG categories back in action when we fire up the engines again for real and get back to racing. As we look here at Mike Sinclair, car number 4, across the top of the hill in the car sales entry, just at the moment running in front of the number 8 car, the Aaron Seaton Ed Williams car, that is going to slip down the inside here across the top of the hill as they press on with just under 45 minutes to go here, Matt. So plenty of time, and there will need to be some pit stopping occurring before everyone's good to go to the end.
One of the cars will have to do it again very soon. McLaughlin and McMillan in the pace entry, car 39 just outside the top 10 in 11th position with Cody Bircher just ahead in this race. I want to go like you did just before. I've got a feeling this is about to brew, and not for the good reasons down here at Forest Elbow. 3, 4, maybe 5 car battle as they head Conrod Straight. 44 minutes and change remaining. Lap 29 of this race.
Great shot from above on the run down Conrod Straight. The pace entry, different livery tonight for Ben McMillan. We've seen him in the Michelin car so far in this series, but it's Scotty McLaughlin at the helm, and he's putting the pressure on the Morris Finance 64 car of Ollie Myers, who's sharing with Tim Brook tonight. And behind Scotty Mack is the 48 car, Dylan Shepherd at the wheel, sharing that entry with Dean O'Brien. That's the car that Nick Carroll has driven throughout the course of this series. As they rattle off another lap, that is 30 laps complete for these guys, with 43 minutes left on the clock. And given we did the maths earlier, Matt, that they can do 40 minutes, about 16 laps of green flag racing on a tank of juice, we should be expecting that third stop somewhere soonish, because you would like to think that depends on your driving time and where you're at with your minimum time. But to give yourself the maximum opportunity to make up ground on the way home and really use everything that you've got over that stint. Let's have a bit of a chat actually to Ben McMillan, who at the moment, mate, you could not have signed up a bigger star co-driver for tonight. You've gone high and you've hit high. Well done.
Thank you. It's good to have Scotty on board. It's been fun so far, so hopefully we can finish it off. But going good.
What I think, if I cast, a lot's happened in this race, but I think if I cast my mind back early on, you got a little bit of a moment at the chase. But is that the only thing that's gone wrong so far?
Yeah, so far. Ran wide, I think lap 2 or 3, and cost myself maybe 5 seconds or so. But other than that, it's pretty good. Just trying to be conservative and not underdrive or not overdrive, and just keep it on.
How are you situated here for the run home? When do you need to make this last stop?
I don't actually know. Scotty's doing all the numbers, so he's looking after all that. So I'm not sure. I think we'll probably go to the max of this stint, which would be like half an hour or so, and then should be plenty left to make it to the end for the next one.
And is he finishing or you finishing?
He is. I'm done.
Oh, you can cruise. This is easy gig.
Yep.
Always handy when you get the reigning Bathurst 1000 champ behind the wheel of your virtual race car. All the best for the rest of it. P12 at the moment, 23 seconds away from the lead of the race, and he's tucked into a bit of a battle pack here on the run down to the chase at the moment. So we'll sit back and watch how he goes here. All the best for the rest of the night. 41 minutes left of racing.
Thank you.
There he is, Ben McMahon. Great to have a chat with the lead driver of the Pace 39 car, and off the road goes
Blackhall.
Blackhall in the Panther Fuel car, and he wasn't the only one. I think Dylan Shepherd was involved there too, in number 48.
Yep.
There's the Kumo tyre car, just in behind of Harley Haber. Race control telling us too that, speaking of car two, Darren Whittington is going to pick up a pit lane penalty for that contact we saw at the cutting a little earlier on. So that's another reason for poor Chelsea Angelo to be very upset. As we go back here to the fight for the lead, Matt, 40 minutes on the clock. Cooper Webster, the young Hyundai Excel driver, who's sharing with Josh Files, leads the way. Car 33, GRM entry. Dylan O'Keefe is the primary driver. Jackson Sulan Harlow is the co-driver, but he is a guy who is at the moment half a second away from the lead. These two are 3 seconds down the road from Shane Van Gisbergen in the number 75 Garth Tander entry. And behind them on the road is Jordan Cox. There is Tony D'Alberto. He's not driving. He's eating. He's, I reckon is that ice cream he's got going there? What's he got going there? I need to know what these guys are eating.
Other than that, he's got awesome cruise control going on in the car. Remember, O'Keefe too, mate, was caught up in that incident earlier in the race in the chase as well. So to see him fight...
Matt.
I know, I can't look.
It's a tub of ice cream.
Yeah.
Where's ours? Where's ours? TD, have you got another spoon?
So not fair.
Tony, it's Aaron.
Yeah.
Where's my spoon? I'm hungry.
It's actually quite delicious.
Is that ice cream?
Connoisseur.
Have you? It's a connoisseur. Oh, I'd smash that. Absolutely smash it.
I've got nothing to do now, so I might as well just enjoy the show.
Hey, you fought back pretty well, mate. You're 27th now. At one stage, you were in the 30s after you had that contact. You're only a minute off the lead here. Anything's possible with, 39 minutes of racing to go.
Yeah, we need another safety car just to sort of get us a bit more in touch with the group, because with that safety car we benefited from it, but we still didn't quite catch the pack before they went racing again. So Babs has actually been pumping out some pretty decent lap times here, so he's catching the pack.
How's his lap times going here? Do you reckon he can earn a gig with you for any more of this sort of stuff?
He's welcome to come back, and he can bring Rich Harris with him as well, because he's very good on the strategy too. So yeah, he's definitely welcome back.
Well, compulsory ice cream eating break is part of the strategy too, huh?
I'm gonna put a few kgs on before the enduros later in the year.
It's not the way to do it, my friend.
No? Sitting in the sim eating ice cream? I'm definitely gonna put weight on.
Hey, all the best. Let's see if Fabian can bring it on home and climb up into that top 20.
Oh, that'd be nice. Thanks, boys.
All right, Tony D'Alberto, take it easy. He started the series, Matt, in the commentary box. He ends it in a sim eating ice cream. Total replay here. Brett Holdsworth, car 99. And we're hearing the motor is kaput. That car has got an engine drama. And from being, well, he was in the mix in the top 5 or 6 earlier on, in the lane and with a drama.
He's no jet now. That car is in the pits. Nice of Tony D to do his best Harry Hogg impersonation from Days of Thunder in the sim.
Exactly.
Cooper Webster continues to lead the race. Sulan Harlow in second, and now SVG in third place. Aboard that Melbourne Performance Centre entry, car 75 that Garth Tander started the race with, finds himself third ahead of Cox, Golding, Heimgartner, who's dropped back one position. Here is SVG working Conrod straight We're just on 37 minutes to go now and 33 laps into the final round of this year's carsales eSports Cup.
Pace for Van Gisbergen is totally on par with the top two, Matt. They are all running in the mid 2 minute 23 second bracket. Fastest cars on the road at the moment in the race, with just under 37 minutes left to go on the clock. A pit stop to come, and SVG is in the game here. Remember, this car was off the road at the chase, head on into the fence with Garth Tander at the wheel after a drama earlier on. But they're back in the game. They're within sight of the leaders. As we look a bit further back into the pack, there is Scott McLaughlin, who sits in 9th position at the moment. Guess who's behind him on the road? We haven't spoken much about this guy tonight. Chaz Mostert, sharing with Nathan Morecambe. There he is. These two know about success at Bathurst. They've won the 6-hour endurance production car race. Of course, that race this year rescheduled to the Bathurst International in mid-November, and that event is set to be a big one. But the Chaz is behind the wheel and climbing the mountain in P10, and he's chasing a guy who he's fought with in main game supercars and in the development series in previous years, as Jake Blackhall now is in the lane. The Panther Fuel 116 as we start the final round of pit stops for this crucial run home.
How big is that weekend going to be with the 6-hour on Saturday? It's a 4-day festival that's coming up at Bathurst in November. It's carsales TCR Australia. So final round of pit stops underway here. So we're approaching 35 minutes to go. One safety car period so far during the race. And the man that led the series coming into this, Harley Haber, car 21, right down the order, puts it back into the hands of car 47, Jaden Ransley. The car being driven by Andre Heimgartner in 6th position. Across the top of the mountain we go again.
And the maths are enough for the young Kiwi to win the series if they stay where they are. If the Kumho tyre car of Harley Haber sits where it is outside the big points at the moment. It's not even in the top 30 as we pick up Andre Heimgartner. What a great run he had going at Bathurst in the 1000 last year with Bryce Forward in the Nissan there for Kelly Racing. He's now a Mustang man in the supercars, and of course that series resumes soon. But looking forward to seeing Jaden Ransley and what he can do. And speaking of Jaden, there he is, the young Kiwi who is representing TCR New Zealand. Looking forward to seeing the Kiwi series get underway on the other side of the ditch in the near future. And of course we get the Aussie series underway with Sydney Motorsport Park in mid-August. Oh, this is Darren Whittington in the Astron Tech number 2 car, running slowly on the exit of Forest Elbow. Total replay here may tell us a bit more as to why.
So they've had to do a drive-through penalty just a few moments ago. Car number 2. Oh, see Valvoline car just behind, locked up and got into the back of car number 2. Just nudged the wall where the Falcon tyre sign is and rejoins. Hard to tell how much damage, if any, to the 2, but certainly was at a slow pace and continues the slow pace. Is it a tyre issue, Nudes?
Yeah, looked like it. Leaders are at the top of Mountain Straight. They have completed 34 laps. We're on lap 35 with the clock ticking down. Shane Van Gisbergen just in the background there. He's about 3.5 seconds away. The gap is pretty constant. Last time around, Sewell and Harlow punched a 23.3, Webster a 23.5, and Van Gisbergen a 23.6. They are the fast cars on the road at the moment. The other fast car is the James Golding Valvoline number 31 car in position 5, top of the mountain. And you know you've got a good race going, Matt, at Bathurst, when the fans at the top of the hill haven't moved a muscle since the first lap earlier on. They are absolutely hardcore for racing at Mount Panorama. None of them have left the vantage point. In fact, they are all in the same place as when we started the race. That's commitment.
Just like real life. Usually there for 7 days in the lead up to the race.
Yes, exactly. Webster's got a bit of a margin here. He's just pulled a little bit of a gap on the run towards Forest Elbow. Let's jump on board with the Chaz, the 2014 Bathurst 1000 champ. Paired up with Paul Morris, the dude to win that day with that now famous last lap pass on Jamie Whincup. Now he's got to get by the man that he started on the front row of the grid with last October at Bathurst, Scott McLaughlin, in the pace car as he works his way down into Forest Elbow. He's up behind Ollie Myers, who's co-driving with Tim Brook in the Morris Finance 64 car, the run on to Conrod. 32 minutes on the clock. These guys are about half a second away from the lead of the race. So a safety car, yep, back in the game. Their pace is, it's a little bit off the front three, but how much of that pace do we see if they get some clear road a bit later on as Sulan Harlan comes into pit lane in the Dylan O'Keefe car. He's the first one of the leaders to take the last stop for this run home.
So in he comes, fantastic drive. Car 33 with Dylan O'Keefe earlier in the race. Final pit stop with just over 30 minutes to go. In comes McLaughlin at the same time. So pit lane's about to light up here in this 2-hour endurance race. Webster's lead was just under 0.4 of a second before all this happened. And Van Gisbergen was just starting to eat away at those 2 cars ahead. So he'll set it to kill in car 75 now. Here is Golding, car 31, 4th position. As they climb towards Griffin's Bend here. 31 minutes to go.
I can't wait to see what unfolds here because this has been a really good fight. Jordan Cox, James Golding, both from the GRM stable. Of course, Cox races an Alfa Romeo in their TCR program, and James behind the wheel of the big V8 powered S5000 open wheeler that will be up and firing at Sydney Motorsport Park in mid-August when we get things back underway for real on the road, with a bunch of dates announced in recent times for the carsales TCR Australia Series and S5000, Sydney Motorsport Park in August, Sandown in mid-September, Phillip Island in October with the date to be confirmed, Bathurst in mid-November, and then the double in Tasmania in January, Australia Day weekend at Symmons Plains, and then the next weekend Baskerville, to have a double Tassie weekend to finish off things in the first part of the new calendar year. But right now, it's about the race at Bathurst and determining our inaugural carsales ARG eSport Cup victor. And it's Cooper Webster who continues to lead the way at the moment. 4 seconds to Shane Van Gisbergen. And having a look here at the James Golding sim with Brad Newman at the wheel in position 4.
All those tracks you reeled off are awesome, but I'm so excited to see S5000 running at Symmons Plains in Tasmania. It is going to be so awesome to see come the Australia Day long weekend next year. But a long way before we get to that point. So look at James Golding heading down towards
it. I was just going to say, it is Brad Newman in the car. My screen's a little dark, and I was just trying to clarify with our spotters here as to whether it was Brad or James at the wheel.
White shirt, blue shirt. Or black shirt, that could be from my screen
It's a
here.
high-tech way. That is the way to pick your sim races when you can't pick different windscreen strips or mirror colours or anything like that. Leaders are in. Webster, Van Gisbergen, Heimgartner. So you are now looking there at Cox and Newman, who are the leaders of the race. Final stop. This is a crucial one for Heimgartner and Jaden Ransley. There's the Ed Williams, Aaron Seaton car. So this is now the lead of the race. Cox and Golding. The Golding car, I should say. I keep on saying it. It's Newman at the helm. Here is Sulan Harlow in the Dylan O'Keefe car 33. Let's see where he comes out. There's Webster. And we're hearing safety cars being called. This will tighten up the game. And those who haven't taken that last stop can't pit right now under the safety car. That changes it completely.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
It fries anyone who didn't come in and make their last stop. So Jordan Cox, Brad Newman on the road, they're going to have to wait for the field to queue up, condense, pit. They'll be at the back of the queue. Disaster.
The worst possible time, 28 minutes to go. And we get our second safety car period of the day. We have this 2-hour race that's just zipped on by here. 37 laps into the race. And now blows it wide apart. Brings some guys back into the game. So keep an eye on Noons where the 21 will pop out of this. He's still outside that 30, but really will have to dig deep. It'll help a little bit this safety car period, but how much? We know there was carnage on that restart lap, didn't we? Previous time.
Yeah, that's true. It's never over until it's over. But at the moment, he's 33rd. Al Nabi driving with Harley Haber.
I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah, no. You're doing a good job of it. But I've got a funny feeling. I'm just so far off the bottom of my timing screen, I can't see. I need to confirm, are they on the lead lap or are they a lap down? I've got a feeling they're a lap down.
That's not going to help. Here is the El Nabi car with Harley Haber, who led the series. They are 1 lap down, confirmed now.
Okay.
Time continues to count down. So, as positive as I can be, Noons, isn't going to work unless they unlap themselves.
Yeah, they're going to need plenty of help. We're looking here at Chaz Mostert in the number 11 car, and we're hearing he's the effective leader. Now, he's got 3 stops against his name, but I'm thinking he's going to have to pit again because they must have taken a short stop earlier on somewhere along the line, because that would mean that, Cooper Webster's the guy we need to keep an eye on in the 199 car, but they need to all form up behind the safety car before they get any wave rounds or pit lane is going to be open. So this is cooking the chances of these drivers that hadn't made their final stop just before the safety car came out. So great scenario for Webster and Sullivan Harlow and Van Gisbergen, who all pitted before this occurred, but for Chaz here and his compadres who have not pitted, they're stuck where they are.
Now, would that bring the 8 into 3rd position now of Jay Hansen, perhaps, because the 18 of Cameron has only done 2 pit stops? So potentially the 18 could be into 3rd and got ahead of the 75 of Van Gisbergen.
Hard to know without sitting here and writing down exactly what everybody did in all their stops and when they made them. Hard to keep an eye on all of that going on at the one stage. We'll get our spotters to feed us as much as we can in terms of understanding who's got to where and who is actually a contender or not for the run to the checkered flag. 25 minutes left on the clock in this final double points race, the Enduro. And as it sits, that car, Jordan Cox, Luke King, car 6, is in the lead of the race, but has to pit again, as does the Valvoline car behind, as does the Morris Finance car in the queue behind them as well. So you really do have to look at Cooper Webster as being in the 199 car in the box seat here for when these cars eventually make that final pit stop.
We effectively, Noon's got a 20-minute sprint race that's coming up. So all the races we've had this year, we've built to that moment.
That hour 40 we had, did we have to do it? We could have just had a 20-minute race and let them go.
One giant qualifying session to get here.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, there's plenty of black marks over the track at the top of the mountain from cars running off the road. There's plenty of debris of tyres floating around as well. And you can see the shadows forming across the top of the mountain from the trees as the sun changes in this latter part of the race.
We're on our screens, of course, we're running the virtual racing, but the track temperature had come down 8 degrees since we started this race. I keep an eye on those numbers, you know what I've been like. I've been like this for years. Some wave arounds happening now.
Yeah, and crucially, that was the Kumo car going on by the Harley Haber car that has got Forza El Nabi at the helm. There he is. Ooh. So this will put him onto the back of the queue. At least he might stand to make up a couple of positions if anyone has any dramas. But at the moment, car 47, let's just, you get that abacus out. There's Harley Haber. It's out of his hands. He's run 9 rounds and stints tonight. He's won more races than anybody in the series, and he could get pipped at the post in the last race of the year. Matthew, get your abacus ready. 13th is where Heimgartner sits in the Ransley car at the moment. 50 points, okay? Fosn El Nabi in the Kumo tyre car, waiting for the refresh of the timing screen here, sits in 33rd. That's worth 10. 40-point turnaround. 37 points was the margin coming in. The Kumo car's got to pick up some spots if the Track Tech car stays where it is. If he bumps his way up to 31st or better and the Track Tech car stays 13th, Haber still wins the series. It's not over yet. As these cars all now peel in for their final pit stop, the field was formed up so they can peel on in. So it leaves Cooper Webster to assume the lead, the young Hyundai Excel driver who's sharing with Josh Files, the Englishman who's a TCR international driver. And it's going to be a race between the 199, the 33 and the 75. The 3 that were in those positions before they made their last stops.
Look at the way it's scrambling on the totem board, left-hand side.
And of course, all those cars that had to pit now put Heimgartner up to 4th.
Yeah.
That's what Ransley needs. That gives him 84 points and a 74-point turnaround which is what he needs. Remember that coming in, Ransley is behind to the tune of, it was 542 to 505, 37 points the turnaround. So Ransley needs to pick up 38 or more, because if it's a tie, I would be thinking that Haber should win on a countback because he's won more races. I'm not sure that anyone's written a rule for that in this series or thought it to be possible, but if it was to happen, that's probably what I would bet would happen. I think I might have just made the rule just quietly. Hey, let's have a bit of a chat here to Andre Heimgartner, who's done a great job tonight for Jaden Ransley. You got me there, Andre?
Yeah, got you loud and clear.
The way it sits at the moment, your car is 4th, and the series leading car is outside the top 30. So good position for Jaden to win the title tonight. Is this a case now of taking it easy and not getting involved in what will no doubt be a cutthroat last 20 minutes?
Yeah, for sure. It's a pretty tense situation now. I thought I'd be having a bit of fun this afternoon, but look, we're battling for a championship, so it's gone our way so far tonight, but we definitely have to err on the side of caution here. We're got to look at the bigger picture when we're battling people, but luckily we're up the front here, so it should be all right.
All right, we'll let you get back to getting the eyes on with just under 20 minutes left to go. Have a good one.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.
Great to have Andre Heimgartner with us tonight. He was a star driver with us a few rounds ago at the Silverstone round when we raced the Formula 3 Open Wheelers, and he is co-driving for Jaden Ransley tonight, the young TCR New Zealand driver in that car. Matt, car 47, the Track Tech car. There's been a pile of Track Tech Kiwi cars in this series, which has been great to have. And let's have a chat to, I'm guessing, a very nervous Jaden Ransley right now. Jaden, in New Zealand, you cannot do a thing about winning this series. You've done your bit. It's in Andre's hands. How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good. Andre's, who I'm sure will do a good job here. Didn't really think we'd be back up here after what happened early in the race. So we've had one extra pit stop that we didn't want because of a pit lane issue, and then got turned around as well. So no, Andre's done really well so far to get us back to where we are. So hopefully he can stay clean and we can just truck on from there.
Now, in the determination of getting your co-driver, do you have to give him a bonus if he helps you win the title tonight? Is that part of the deal?
Oh, nah, he gets enough. But he's doing really well. So, yeah, hopefully we can just hold on here at the end.
All right, we'll let you be the very nervous partner for the next 19 and a half minutes while you watch on as your championship is in the hands of another guy in another country far, far away from you. It's a very odd scenario as you try to win a series.
Yeah, it is very odd, and just fingers crossed we can get through to the end pretty unscathed. But yeah, thanks, guys.
Good to catch up. You all the best.
Cheers, thank you.
There he is, Matt. Jaden Ransley. Do you reckon he's nervous? I'm reckoning yes.
Well, the car sits in 4th position. We should be looking good for a restart. The lights are out on the safety car, and we are set with just under 19 minutes to go. A championship to crown and a 2-hour endurance race winner to be decided.
Take a breath.
Car pulls in. Here we go.
Yep, here we go. Take a breath. It is the classic fight to the end at Bathurst. 18 and a half minutes on the clock. Cooper Webster, the young gun, is the leader of the race. Jackson Sulan-Harlow sharing with Dylan O'Keefe. On to pit straight. 39 laps in the books. Doesn't matter about the laps, Matt. It's all about the time. Van Gisbergen sits in 3rd spot. 4th place, Ed Williams driving with Aaron Seaton. They're in the game. Heimgartner's next as they climb Mountain Straight for the 40th time tonight. The 2-hour enduro has delivered plenty of drama so far. Are there any more twists in the tail? I've got a funny feeling we do. Up the hill, Williams to the inside on Van Gisbergen. Normally Williams is data engineering for DJR Team Penske, fighting the Red Bull Holdens on the track, and he's just gone past one of their lead drivers.
And takes Andre with him. A good measure up the hill. So Williams, who's up with Seaton in that Harris Racing entry, goes up into 3rd position now as we work our way back into a rhythm. We're going to hold our breath because we know what it was like on the first restart lap from the previous safety car, particularly coming down the mountain. Webster from Sulan, Harlan, Williams, Heimgartner, Van Gisbergen and McLaughlin is your top 6.
Top of the hill, top 2 getting away. Williams next. Heimgartner, Van Gisbergen's dumped some spots. And guess who's behind him? Scotty Mack, the two Kiwis. They've been fighting the last few years in supercars. Now they are virtually fighting again. They've been doing it in the Supercar Race Series. Tonight it's in the carsales ARG eSport Cup. Top of the hill, dropping off and down the mountain. And it's Webster and Sullenharlow leading the way. There's Williams, Heimgartner, Van Gisbergen, McLaughlin, Nathan Hearn 7th, Braden Wilmington 8th, Ash Sutton 9th, Dean O'Brien. That is your top 10. And the number 21 Kumo tyre car, Forzan El Navi, is sitting outside the top 30. Round goes Wilmington. Oh no, top 10 run. And he's off at the elbow. And he's got a drama. And I'm hearing, Matt, Scott McLaughlin has made contact with the wall as well in the pace car.
So these guys were around that area. I think Wilmington was in 8th position. As now it's on in the chase. It's on here. Challenge for the lead as Sullenharlow goes into the lead of the race. We see Webster just pull the 199 up in time. He almost looped that car in the exit of the chase, and it's on at the front, in the middle, and at the back of this field.
Fight for third's on 2. Williams is covering off Andre Heimgartner. And I mentioned before about Ed Williams. He works at DJR Team Penske, but he has been a racer himself. I'm pretty sure he's done some Formula V racing in his time. But at the moment, Heimgartner is putting the pressure on. Sullenharlow to the lead in the 33 GRM car. Change for position. Heimgartner to third. He's got Williams at turn 1. Van Gisbergen's in the tow. We are into it now, Matt. 15 minutes on the clock. Final race. Double points on the line. And they are going for it. Grab that kitchen sink. Throw it in. It is absolutely... Everything's going to get thrown at this for the next few minutes as now Heimgartner hangs on, but Williams hangs tough. There's no grip out there, but he's going to stay with it. Van Gisbergen to the outside on the run to the cutting. This is good stuff.
Williams with the better line. As to the top we go. So you've got the feeling that Heimgartner is trying to give Ransley the cherry on the top here. He wants the race win as well as the series crown tonight. He's 3.5 seconds behind Cooper Webster, who's in second. And Sullenharlow, who continues to lead this race. 15 minutes to go.
No pressure.
None.
Great fight for third. They are queued up 3rd to 9th. Are within a couple of seconds on the road. Top of the mountain. Dropping their way through the S's. And the two out front have got away. 3 seconds down the road. They've been the form cars for the majority of this race. And now it's a case of the final spot on the podium as Van Gisbergen now puts the pressure on Ed Williams. There's a bit of damage, remember, to that 75 car of SVG, which was by virtue of a bit of contact with the wall at the chase earlier on when Garth Tanner was at the wheel. And now it's a case of trying to break the slipstream on the run down Conrod Straight. Heimgartner doing the business for Jaden Ransley, who is 3rd in the race. But importantly, that would give him enough points to win the title tonight. But this one's not over with yet.
This is so cool. If this is what it's like in the virtual world, what's it going to be like in November in the final 15 minutes of the race? Can't wait for that later this year. But down towards Murray's we go. Williams in the Aaron Seaton car. Comes out of Murray's corner while Sullenharlow still has just under 0.2 of a second, but they're nearly 5 seconds clear of Heimgartner Noons, who's leading this battle of freight train, if you will, of nearly, a dozen cars now.
Yeah, it's going to take a drama for those top two to come back to the pack. It's really tight. 3rd to 15th are separated by just 6 seconds as they climb the mountain now. Lap 42, 13 minutes on the clock. And there's Jordan Cox. Remember, he was one of the drivers who could not pit as the safety car came out. Sullenharlow down the inside at turn 2, Griffin's Bend. Webster now tucks in as they climb towards the cutting, the steepest part of this Mount Panorama course. 6.213 kilometres of bitumen. They're using all of it right now, and they've got pace. Last lap, Cooper Webster, fastest lap of the race, 2:22.192. They are turning up the Jets on the run home.
Should say a big shout out too to Josh Files, who drove very well in the opening stint of this race. Meantime, we got McLaughlin and Van Gisbergen, 5th and 6th position. Nathan Hearn just behind.
And Matty, they've changed positions. Scotty Mack's in front of SVG. He's P5. There he is, the pace 39 car. sharing with Ben McMallen.
This is awesome.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Total replay might tell us how he got it. Oh, he's got it done there on the run up Mountain Straight. He was already in front before they got to turn 2. This takes us back a bit further, I think. It might give us how it all came to be.
Would have been the drive out of Hell Corner that set him up for this. He's pulled out to make the move underneath the Petters Bridge and down the hill. So textbook move, really.
Did you see in the background? Yeah, there was a car spearing to right of screen, driver's left. I'm guessing that might have been Fabian Coulthard. It looked like a white and red car. Maybe we can get another replay of what unfolded there. But have a look at this. Fight on at the chase for the lead. Webster round the outside gets it done. This is good. They have swapped the lead twice in a lap. They better be careful though. Slowing one another down while they're fighting is not good for business for these two. 4.8 seconds the margin back to Andre Heimgartner, who sits in third. But these guys are in the 22s. The chasers are in the 24s and the 23s. They've got them covered for pace. They will need to stuff this up to not finish 1-2 or 2-1, depending on which car you are, which order you want to be in. The rest of them do not have the speed to catch them with 11 minutes to go.
Even with that move around the outside, he was still half a second quicker, Cooper Webster, than Sullivan Harlow, who runs in second place now. We climb the mountain, approaching the final 10 minutes of the race. We ride from Nathan Hearn's perspective as he sits in 7th position. Tom Randall just behind him. Dean O'Brien and James Golding complete the top 10. And Fabian Coulthard, who we believe might have had that moment, he sits in 11th now, Noons. And what a recovery from the 50 to be just outside the top 10 now.
Well, it can't have been him then off the road. Surely not. It looked like a white and red car, but he's got to 11th, so that was a big benefit from all those cars that were stuck on the track, unable to take their last pit stop because the safety car had come out. So from the back of the field, Delberto Coulthard, P11, and we're watching Nathan Hearn, the Gulf Western Oils 29 car, the young Trans Am driver, is in 7th, and he's fighting with Van Gisbergen and McLaughlin at Bathurst. That's pretty cool.
Pretty special. That might have been the 64 car. Ollie Myers and Tim Brook that might have had that moment, because they've dropped outside the top 30 now.
Okay, that cleans that one up.
Yeah.
We'll see. But it
definitely,
definitely wasn't the 50 car, as Hearn drops his way off the top of the hill and keeps that pressure on Van Gisbergen, who wasn't able to go on with it after that safety car. I thought he was the guy who was going to take it up to the top 2, but just couldn't get up and rolling and lost a spot or 2 and has slipped back a bit further to position 6 in behind Scott McLaughlin. Hearn has got Randall behind him, then Dean O'Brien, then the James Golding car with Brad Newman at the helm. So I've got a good fight here. Under 10 minutes to go, couple of laps left, lap 43, and up in front there, that's Williams and McLaughlin. DJR Team Penske data engineer, DJR Team Penske race driver, and it's Scotty Mack who gets the spot. He's through to 4th.
He's had enough of that. He's no. I belong up here. You sit behind me. McLaughlin on the charge now, 4th position, and set sail for Andre Heimgartner just ahead here. So the pace car, if you will, is in 4th position. Van Gisbergen drops into 6th. Nathan Hearn, that we rode on board with for the last lap, stays in 7th, and Randall completes the top 8.
McLaughlin's coming on strong. Matty, McLaughlin just set his car's fastest lap of the race last time around. But Sullivan Harlow and Webster are in the 22s. There's Fabian Coulthard, car 50, driving with Tony Delberto. He's 11th, and he's within sight of the leaders. There he is, the white and red car. He's got the number 8 car just in behind him. That's the, actually that's the Jay Hansen car, I think it is, from memory. As we go back to the front, Cooper Webster is keeping the pressure on Jackson Sullivan Harlow, and a change for the lead there again. So they've swapped this over a few times. The ice cream eating Tony Delberto, are you there, my friend? Fabian,
I'm there, mate.
P11, and he's got about 7 cars right in front, 8 minutes to go. You cannot believe you are back in the game given where you were at the start of this race, surely.
Yeah, they've done a great job, especially with strategy.
Looks like we've had Tony's audio drop out there. Must have been the ice cream drowning his microphone.
Yeah.
Bathurst here now. Jay Hansen, who just bombed him, and he's on a bit of a mission. So we sort of let him go. Hoping might get back.
I think I got most of what you said there. We're having a few audio dramas there. Let's get back to the front of the race, TD. All the best. P11 at the moment. Let's see if Fabian can bring it home. All right, let's stick to the fight at the front, Matt. It's on. Sewell and Harlow back in the lead. Webster second. They're 6 seconds clear of Heimgartner now. It is going to be a fight for the win between these two young guns. Last time around, 2:22.7 for car 33, 22.8 for Webster. It is a case now of going all the way to the flag. 6.5 minutes on the clock. And hearing, might get race control to repeat the message that they just passed through my ear. And it's bad news for our British fans. Ash Sutton, Panther Fuels 116 car, is out of the race. That's a shame.
It is a real shame.
A sad way for his title to end, unfortunately.
That car was so strong in the early stages of the race. It is now Dillon, Harlow and Webster climb the mountain once again. They're swapping the lead.
Hey, Matthew, as the fight for the lead goes on here and Webster takes the run to the outside, I've dragged a special guest commentator in for this last 5 minutes and 55 seconds.
Okay.
Michael Caruso, this is going on. We get to call an epic finish here at Mount Panorama. Sewell and Harlow in 33, Webster in 199. But why are you not in the mix?
Our car's completely stopped. It won't run anymore. Like, no joke. It literally won't repair. They won't let us out of pit lane. So that's our day done. But these two guys are having a fantastic little battle.
I think they call this in the classics, it's a ring-ding-dinger. They are going at it. They are 6.5 seconds clear of Andre Heimgartner, who at the moment is on target to bring Jaden Ransley home to win the series because Foz and El Nabi, we need to do some maths, Matthew. The Kumo tyre car's 22nd, 32 points. Heimgartner's third, 88. 88 minus 32, 56 points. That's enough to give the Kiwi the title. Let's have a quick chat, Michael, shall we, to your GRM compadre in Dylan O'Keefe. Are you there, my friend?
Yeah, I'm here. I've got you guys.
Leading the way, Jackson's doing a nice job here. He's looking for goods here. No pressure.
Yeah, he's doing really well. This kid's a gun. He said when he was behind Cooper, he said, I'm just going to do anything I can to win this. So he's shown he's been decisive but aggressive. So hopefully we can hang on to it. These two are actually teammates on the sim in real life, so they know each other. But yeah, I'm just sitting here enjoying the race. It's good to watch, actually.
Dylan, Michael Caruso here, mate. One question that comes straight to my mind. Why are you not bringing the car home as the lead driver?
I'm actually number 2 driver in this, and I knew that from the start. I had to go find the best driver I could. And it's unbelievable, you know, like these sim kids, they're actually, I don't know what it is, but their rule of thumb's like half a second to a second quicker a lap. It's unreal, so.
Well, the racing looks just as good, mate, and these guys doesn't look like old Coop's given up here. He's right on the back of him. Are you nervous?
Not too nervous. I mean, I've got a lot of trust in Jackson, but these two will race hard and fair. But I think Jackson's got the edge on him, so hopefully he proves that tonight.
All right, we'll let you watch on. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go as it's on at turn 2, Robbo. Look at this. Webster's going loud and proud round the outside at turn 2. There is no grip there to get past at this late stage of the race.
No, not the place you want to be, particularly at turn 2. He's dropped a little bit of ground, but look, he's just got to hang in there. Like you said, with only 3 odd minutes to go here, this is not a little bad spot to be. And anyone could win it from here. And as you know, Noons, this is Bathurst. This is what always happens.
It may be virtual Bathurst, but it's still Bathurst, and weird stuff still can, should, would, and probably will happen. Top of the hill. We're on lap 46. We've got 3 minutes to go on the clock. The fight for the podium's on there with Heimgartner and McLaughlin a bit further behind.
We're hearing Noon's next lap is the last lap.
Okay. We're not far off then.
And they've put out nearly 7 seconds to Andre Heimgartner. While these two have been battling, they've still managed to put a margin on the likes of Heimgartner and McLaughlin, who are 3rd and 4th. Williams still runs in 5th ahead of Van Gisbergen. Nathan Hearn, Tom Randall, Blake Purdy and Dean O'Brien is the top 10. 2 safety car periods, and it's down to 2 drivers with just a little over 8 kilometres of racing.
Al Nabi's improved up to 20th position. 36 points is not enough to get Harley Haber the series win. He needs more spots. He needs some bad luck for drivers in front, but let's look at the fight. At the chase, it is on. Webster looks to the outside. It is willing. A Bathurst wins on the line. You've got to put it all out there, Robbo. You've got to, don't hold the cards. You've got to stick them on the table and play them right now.
Well, the one thing I love about these two guys, they're going hammer and tong, and they know the championship means nothing when you're racing at Bathurst because it's all about the top step of the podium, and that's exactly how they're treating it.
Last lap, 1 lap to go. 6.213 kilometres of virtual racing. Sulan leads the way. Webster looks at turn 1. He's going to go for it. Hell corner, there's contact. But the Hyundai Excel kid gets the move and takes the lead on the last lap. Oh boy, and he's got margin as well. Oh,
You what, he didn't see that coming, did he?
What did you guys say? This is Bathurst.
Yep, sure is.
How's the Banzai move into turn number 1? Did he go too early?
Well, no, I don't think it was that Banzai. It was pretty much under control, wasn't it, Michael? I thought that he was in the gap and he left the door there for him, and now Jackson Sulanalo is going to have to fight to get back in touch.
Yeah, I don't think he expected it to happen, but he made that gap work. And look, he's still not out of this yet, Jackson. He's right there, but he's going to have to get it done by the elbow, I think.
Tell me, you've been driving this iRacing platform the last few weeks. The slipstream is actually a big help. Is it enough to get you close enough to an attack at the chase?
Well, I think if he gets on top of him by the time they get to the elbow, he will have a shot. But if he needs to close that gap by the time we get to the elbow for him to have a chance down into the chase.
Final time, Matt, across the top of the mountain, and Cooper Webster in that 199 car is leading the way, but it's all about Sulan. He's got to be close enough. Oh no, he's gone wide. He's bounced it off the fence on the exit of the dip up. That might be the moment that hands the win to Cooper Webster, but he's got to get it off the elbow here, drive it straight, get the power on, and break the slipstream, and that's what he's done.
Yeah, he's done a magnificent job. He kept it clean on this last lap. He pounced. He knew what he was going to do. I think he had that in his mind the whole time. He was going to get him last lap to that first corner.
Car in the middle of the track as well there on the final
Matt,
lap.
yes, in the shadows there. I was wondering why they were driving to the right-hand side of the road, but there's a car parked on the left-hand side of Conrod Straight. I hope they all see that. As we run to the final couple of corners, Cooper Webster sharing with Josh Files. Fight for the podium. McLaughlin gets the move on Heimgartner, who can't fight because he's got a title win for Ransley. Final turn, last race of the year. Cooper Webster and Josh Files win the 2-hour race at Bathurst. Jackson Sulan and Dylan O'Keefe is second. Third is Scott McLaughlin driving with Ben McMillan. But the champ in fourth place provisionally, we'll wait and see where El Nabi comes home. But Ransley and Heimgartner are fourth. That is worth 84 points as the rest of the field comes on through. El Nabi at the moment is 18th with 40 points. That's a 44-point turnaround. It won't be enough, and it should see Jaden Ransley win the title. What a finish. Good stuff.
A magnificent race. I mean, to go that long and leave it all up to the 22 corners to go and get the job done, that's what we love about Bathurst.
So
Great
cool.
stuff.
47 laps of racing, 2 safety car periods. And if that's the entree to the real thing in November, cut me a slice.
Yeah, it's a good pie, isn't it, the Bathurst pie? Van Gisbergen ended up in 8th place. Coulthard and Delberto got into the 10. They finished in 9th spot. We'll have a chat to our winners. I think we've got them both on the line, Cooper Webster and Josh Files. Gentlemen, congratulations. Well done, Cooper. Tell me about that move. Michael Caruso here reckons that you lined that up and that was totally the plan. Yes or no?
Thank you very much. That move for turn 1, it was half and half planned, as the whole last lap, like the last 2 laps, I was like, I have to pass now, otherwise it'll be too late. So as soon as I got close to him, I was gonna go for it, but I was a bit worried in the hard braking areas because you can so easily overshoot it. And then I just got that run for turn 1 and pulled out as late as I could so he wouldn't expect it, and it worked off good. I think I gave him a little tap in the middle of the corner, but overall it was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, good little move, mate. And that little love tap, that's motor racing. That's what we want to see. We want to see these cars, you guys driving them hard, working hard, and nothing like a bit of close racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was really happy to have a stellar battle with Jackson there at the end. It was really fun. So yeah, big ups to him. He drove really well, and Josh as well, my teammate. He did awesome.
Yeah, great job. We really enjoyed that race, particularly the last 10 or 15 minutes it was on. Knock yourself up a victory at Bathurst, mate. Well done.
Cheers, thank you.
So let's work our way, Robbo, through the rest of the order and where they finished. The guys in, who are we off to next? The guys in P3. The pace entry, Scott McLaughlin came home like a bit of a rocket ship there at the end. Scott, nice job. Heimgartner was fighting for the title, given that his co-driver, Jaden Ransley, needed the points. So did you feel like you could throw something down the inside and he wasn't going to fight you too hard?
Not there.
No, not there. Let's
Scott,
try
you there,
again.
mate?
I'm here. Sorry.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, I don't know. You realise you're talking to me. Sorry, boys. Yeah.
I'll take two on the question. We saw you get the move on Heimgartner,
Yeah.
and he was driving with a guy fighting for the title. So did you think that he wouldn't fight you too hard there?
I didn't even know that. So that makes
well, there you go.
That makes I realise that that's probably why he left such a big gap there. So I just bombed him. So anyway, I didn't know that.
It worked for you. I mean, you've been doing a fair bit of racing there, Scotty, at the moment, particularly e-racing at the moment. Do you think that's playing in your advantage?
Oh, I mean, I'm doing a little bit, but probably playing COD more so than anything. So no, I'm enjoying that at the time. But this is a good time to just come out and have a bit of fun. And obviously, you know, E-Series has been pretty big with the V8, but now to come out here and run with Benny, who did an awesome job at the start of the race, you know, that was really fun. So it's yeah, a really good thing.
Please accept from Robbo and I the virtual trophy for third place. Here you go. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Is there a check or?
No. If it's from Robbo, it's going to bounce 100%.
Yeah, fair enough. Makes sense. No worries. Thanks, boys.
There he is, Scott McLaughlin, third tonight with Ben McMullen. We'll have a chat to our runners-up too, Robbo, because Dylan O'Keefe and Jackson Sulanhalo did a super job. Gents, well done. I know it's not a win, but we might have a chat to Jackson. Did you expect that move from Cooper at turn one with a lap to go?
To be honest, no. I placed my car the same place each lap, and yeah, I didn't think it was really hard to bomb it in. Like, you kind of got to get an overlap before you brake, and I was already really deep. So yeah, he definitely went in real deep, and like, obviously, I don't know, if I wasn't there, I don't feel he could have pulled it up. But
am I sensing a bit of a potential protest post the race, mate?
Like that. No, it's right. Like, to be fair, I rubbed him a couple of times. He rubbed me a couple of times. I just really angry at myself. Like, last lap, over the top, I was. He had 2 lap fresher tires or something. I don't know, but that makes a big difference in this car. So over the top, I threw like 110% into it, and yeah, just clipped the wall coming down, and that put me out of the toe. So just really angry at myself for that. So yeah, sorry to Dylan for that, but yeah, second's not too bad.
I think Dylan might be on the line here. I know that you would rather win, but you'd rather be in the game all the way through to the end rather than going around somewhere outside the top 10. You boys did a super job, and it's really a shame that someone's got to be P1 and someone's got to be P2.
No, it's a credit to Jackson. I mean, I got him for a reason. He's one of the best sim drivers going around in Australia, and thanks to him for joining me. I mean, it was a good job. Put it on pole. I thought my first stint wasn't too bad. Handed it to him in a okay spot, and he showed how aggressive he was. We probably would have rather been in second on that last lap. But anyway, it's just how it goes in this car. The slipstream's big and all that kinds of stuff. And then there's always hindsight. I mean, Jackson said he could have blocked into turn one, but you wouldn't expect to move there. So anyway, credit to him. It was great fun and a great way to wrap up the ARG eSport Cup.
Mate, it's been great to have you part of it. We look forward to seeing you behind the wheel in that little Renault Megane for GRM when the Car Sales TCO Australia Series kicks off round one. City Motorsport Park, August 15, 16. We'll catch up with you when you're there.
Yeah, we'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your help.
Dylan O'Keefe, second tonight in the Bathurst. We'll call it the Bathurst 2 Hour because that's what it was. You can see on your screen the recap of how they finished, but the important one here, Michael, is P4. Andre Heimgartner brought it home. Jaden Ransley is the inaugural Car Sales ARG eSport Cup champ. I've done the maths. He's won by just a handful of points. In the end, 7 points is the margin. That is unbelievably close given we've had 10 rounds and 18 odd races or thereabouts. Jaden's on the line, by the way, from New Zealand. Congratulations, champ. That was stressful, but you got it done.
Yeah, very stressful. Yeah, it's cool to win though. Obviously, thanks to Andre, he drove an awesome race there at the end to keep us in the race after what happened early. And also nice work to Harley as well. He drove an awesome series and probably had a bit of bad luck at the last round, but it's awesome to win. And yeah, I'm stoked.
Nice work, mate. It's definitely hard to put a championship together. Did you feel that pressure all through the series to come through with it at the end there?
Yeah, I guess we sort of we were more of a consistent points getter instead of having the race wins. We didn't have a race win all year, so to finally come out on top through consistency at the end is really cool. And yeah, just full credit to the ARG guys. They put on an awesome series, and it's been really fun.
It's been great to have you part of it. I know that we've had a lot of different tracks. We've raced the Audi touring car. We've had the Formula 3 Dallara, and as you mentioned, you might not have won a race, but you were consistent and you were in the mix all the way through, and then the double points final round. So it's not a case of not winning races or winning championships. You've got to do what it takes to win the title over 10 rounds, and that's what you've done. So great job. Well done. Congratulations. We look forward to seeing you behind the wheel of a TCR car in the Kiwi Series at some stage soon.
Cheers, guys. Thanks very much.
There he is, Jaden Ransley, our champion. Michael, it is all over. 10 weeks of virtual racing, and we've got a champ.
Well, how do you think he's going to celebrate?
With a virtual champagne spray, I guess. I'm sure. Final points. This is how it finished. Ransley by 7 over Harley Haber, who I feel so sorry for. He won more races than anybody all year. Drama in the last race, a double points race, means he's a runner-up. Dylan O'Keefe, a second tonight, gets him third in the series. Jordan Cox managed to leapfrog his way up to 4th in the points at the end. And Ash Sutton, that DNF in the Panther fuel car, took him out of the mix. He finished P5, who was a guest driver this year. So different categories all represented there in the final series points with how it's all washed out. Can't wait, Michael, to get the carsales TCR Australia Series underway at Sydney Motorsport Park in the middle of August. You'll be there in the Valvoline GRM Alfa Romeo, champing at the bit. Good to go.
Can't wait to get into it, mate. I'm literally sleepless nights at the moment, wanting to drive a real race car. So I know everybody involved in ARG, and particularly in this series, are going to be pretty excited to get there and get it started for the year.
No, look forward to it. Great for you to be a part of it in the sim in the last couple of rounds and jumping in the commentary box tonight. Matt Nolte from the great Murray Bridge in South Australia, thank you for joining us for some of the rounds over the course of this year. Look forward to seeing you part of the action for the carsales TCR Australia Series and S5000 with ARG's TV program this year. Good bit of fun. Proof that you can commentate at home. This might be all the rage in the future. Sounds like Matt's logged off already. I gave him a big wind up and he wasn't there to hear it. He'll never believe that I said great things about him.
Well, I think the good thing is you meant it.
I meant it. It was
came from the heart.
It came from the heart. It did. On behalf of everybody involved over the last 10 weeks, I know that the world has been very different to the normal, both motorsport and general world. There's been plenty of things going on. We hope that putting on the carsales ARG eSport Cup has kept you entertained, has kept your fix for motorsport ticking. We can't wait to see the real thing back underway with all the categories and all the forms of motorsport that we have in Australia. To all of our viewers in Australia, New Zealand, and around the world who've joined us on various platforms over the last 10 weeks of racing, a big thank you to you all. To the behind-the-scenes team at the Australian Racing Group, the guys who are here working with us on the broadcast in the office during the week. A big thank you to those who've worked with us on air. Tony Delberto at the start of the year. Grant Rowley's done a sensational job. Our producer, Andrew Jansen. Cameron Vanderdungen, who's been part of the team. Matt Nolte. To all the drivers all over the world who have competed over the course of the year, thank you very much. Our guest drivers, our Australian Racing Group regular drivers. We've had over 60 drivers compete in this series over the last 10 weeks. It has been simply sensational. Thank you for being with us. We look forward to seeing some real life racing back on the track soon. Thank you again to everybody from carsales for support. That was the carsales ARG eSport Cup. Good night, good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are.